or 622-6935. Check them out on Facebook, Trinity Lighting ETC LTD, or shop online at trinityetc.com. In the Miami area, contact them at 305-354-2033 or 305-932-0727. Remember, be safe and wear your mask. Trinity Lighting welcomes you to their main store, 120 Western St. James.
Easter Monday! Easter Monday! You know what we say, Easter Monday, that means More FM Sports and Family Day is on! Finally, the biggest and the best sports day in the country is back! And we can bring the entire family back together in person! This Easter Monday, all the More FM families will gather at Constantine Park in Macoya from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. April 10th, Easter Monday, is the More FM Family Day at the Constantine Park in Macoya. Want to bring your friends and family as a team? Register early because spaces are limited. Or you can just come enjoy the day of fun and picnic with your friends and family and lime with our family of DJs and announcers. Come for tug of war, musical chairs, hoopla, tin pan alley, bouncy castle, and more fun games and activities for the entire family. More FM Sports and Family Day 2023. One family, one voice.
Welcome to M&M Pharmacy. Strategically located next to Eastside Supermarket in Sangre Chiquito, Sangre Grande. For all your healthcare needs and much more, M&M Pharmacy will give you customer service like no other. Your health is your wealth. That's right.
Looking to complete your home or business project? Well, the place is Michelin Hardware. We carry a large selection of roofing and plumbing supply, lumber, steel, water tanks, tools, and more. Get your sand, gravel, sandfill by the bag, yard or load. No one beats our prices. Visit us at M&R Building, number 97, Eastern Main Road, Aruka, or call 646-2144. WhatsApp 327-7761. Michelin Hardware.
Disclaimer. More FM Limited, its owners and associates, accepts no responsibility for statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. More FM Limited does not endorse any of the information provided during this commercially booked segment as the truth. That you have to judge for yourself. We, however, reserve the right to question statements made. But in this time of misinformation, government-controlled media and corruption, it is sometimes hard to get the truth, but we must try. It is not our intention to discriminate or annoy anyone. We believe it is our constitutional right to free speech, to voice our opinion, and our duty to the population and country to expose the truth. More FM Limited takes no responsibility for the opinions of others.
The ground report, the ground report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The ground report, the ground report.
I would think that there's been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The ground report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
It won't end unless we're committed. It won't end unless we unite. It won't end unless we make the sacrifice. It won't end until we focus on saving our country rather than petty differences. It won't end until we all understand. It won't end until we begin. Are you ready? Crime is out of control.
We know.
Government has created the working poor.
We know.
Citizens are suffering.
We know.
Independent institutions have been compromised.
We know.
Food prices and fuel are sky high.
We know.
A handful of greedy men and women are the only ones financially benefiting. Government just doesn't care.
We know.
Then what are we waiting on? Are you ready? Having your narratives confined to a chat group is not enough. Staying in your comfort zone and rehashing the same issues isn't going to work. and just hoping things will change without making the ultimate sacrifice is equivalent to insanity. Words are useless now that action is needed. Are you ready? You're hoping for a crime plan. You're hoping for a better economy. You're hoping for a better healthcare system. You're hoping for the corruption to end. But raw reality is better than false hope. It won't end until we begin. Are you ready?
Ready.
That's
folks. I know some of you may have made some plans as the case may be. Anyhow,
yeah, go ahead.
Time check. It's 9 minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock on this Wednesday, March 22nd, 2023. Some of you may have made some changes to your schedule already. We want to apologize for this, but it just came to us that next week, Wednesday, that's the day of C exams, and where we're going, there are 2 primary schools right there in the vicinity. So we are aiming for Tuesday instead. We do apologize. Tuesday, March 28th, which is next Tuesday. So that's Tuesday, March 28th. At what time, Andy?
9 a.m. DPP
9
office.
9 a.m. DPP office. So there you have it, folks.
So
if you can make those changes quickly, whatever schedule, whatever it is, perhaps with the babysitter, whoever, whatever at work, as the case may be, it is 9 a.m. It's Tuesday, March 28th, which is next week, Tuesday. So this is what it's going to be. It's going to be about coming out and, of course, showing that support for the last brick in the wall of democracy, which protects us and preserves our civil liberties. It is under threat. And why? Why is the DPP now political enemy number 1? So, again, are you ready? I want to hear from you on the outside. I haven't heard from Kingsley in a while. How is he doing? I know he's making the rounds. He is not a flip-flopper. He seems very much committed to the cause. And to all the good folks who make up the Ground Report family, good morning, wherever you are, those in North America, those of you in Europe, and of course our CARICOM brothers and sisters that are locked on. Sister Altobago, good morning to you. We'll be dealing with you sometime soon because things don't look good at all. But right now we have bigger fish to fry. Hey Silver Fox, how you going, my brother? It's been a while. Who's on the outside, Andy? Are you ready? Next Tuesday, March 28th, 9 a.m.
So make sure you come with the access phrase, which is again, I am ready for next week, Tuesday. So when that way people say, oh, it's Tuesday now, in case somebody move from the radio. For next week, Tuesday, please God, DPP office, Port of Spain, 9 a.m. You can just make it short and sweet, but send the message. It's an ad. So you help promote your own selves by when you get in, because you know you coming, by saying I am ready for next week Tuesday, please God, 9 a.m. DPP office, Port of Spain. Look, I make it short and nice. You can do it your way, but send the message. Make sure and send the message. Morning caller, where are you calling from? What's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning? I ain't getting you. Wow. That's no.
Look at the numbers, Andy. Another new people who have been waiting for a date, waiting for action. So they're out there. Give them the numbers, man.
Yes, I'm gonna give them the numbers.
Give them the numbers.
Nice. The numbers to call 239-5120. That's 239-5120 or 229-0251. 229-0251, or give us a WhatsApp call. All the poor people, the foreigners, send your family out. You're across there. This is the time that you all have to use your power. Call your brother, call your sister, call nanny, call daddy, call my brother, everybody, and just tell somebody to go represent you. It's a good cause. It's a good stand. And if we don't make it, it will never be no move will make. And everybody see that. Since Pushback 1, where 30 people was locked up, even my co-host here, Michael Kerr. Pushback 2,
Hundreds of people tear gas, including innocent people just going along the savannah. We the people was always responsible for that. Since that, everybody dormant. We realize that it is the burden of us the people who listens to the ground report, that believe in democracy, believe and understand that Goliath, Samson fight Goliath, but David hit him a pebble. So come on all you, talk to your family members please, and let your family members know, especially all you foreigners, that you all want them to go represent the family. But guys will be going there today, save me family.
Yeah, but some people may not have that luxury of talking to any family member anymore, because there's been reported through the Ministry of Health 450 new COVID-19 cases in the past week, and that was up from last week's 367 cases. So the new positive cases were recorded between March 15th and the 21st. And this 7-day rolling average of the COVID-19 cases, meaning the number of new cases recorded daily during the 7-day period, is 64. And that's also up from last week's 52 cases per week on average. So understand that there were 7 new COVID-19 fatalities within the last week. And the deceased included 4 elderly males, 3 elderly females. 6 of those had comorbidities, while 1 had no known underlying health conditions. And the year-to-date of the 79 COVID-19 related deaths, 70 were not fully vaccinated, and 4,361 people have died after testing positive for COVID-19 since the start of the pandemic. 79 of those were not fully vaccinated, and I guess the other 9 were. So I don't know.
Oh boy. Morning call, where calling from? Don't forget the access phrase.
Hello, greetings Andy and the team. I now tuning, so I'm familiar with the
Tuesday, this Tuesday here, DPP office, Port of Spain, 9 a.m.
DPP office.
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, DPP office, 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Andy, while the oil is hot, I will drop a few gems. A question to you and the team, especially Lennox. Is Trinidad and Tobago, or the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, a country or a corporation? That's one question. Is legality law, or they are two different things? And I want to say a little encouragement to you, Andy. I like your energy, but people need to come forward with the total truth to the people. Politics is it's an evil system. I heard you want to go up for Grandy and stuff like that.
Man, I'm so sorry about that. Right now we're talking about Wednesday, please God. Oh boy, the people that we taking calls from are people that are endorsing and coming out Wednesday, giving.
I understand that too.
Yeah.
You're right, Andy, you're right. You have nothing to apologize for. It's an evil system. Who made it evil? Who made it evil? It's a system. It's a system that all developed countries, are governed by. It's politics. That's why they teach political science in universities. Now, however, there are people who are involved in this whole system that are very questionable. They lack passion. They lack any sort of caring to understand that they have to serve the people. They seem not to understand that, it is them who have to serve, and it's not the other way around. They are the ones who are being hired. They are the ones who are being employed by the people. Who made this system evil, sir? We are not noble savages. We don't just go around, acting in a manner that is not befitting of a civilized society. Come on, man. Who's on the outside? Always quick to talk something.
That's a bot. You coming out, but you still have a bot. And you focusing on here, there, and everywhere.
No, you can't tell about some evil system and this and that. Lady blame where it needs to be blamed. genesis of the evil. Yes, Rowley, the genesis of the evil political system in this country is the PNM, and currently is Rowley because he's at the helm of the PNM. It is the PNM, the architect of all the division and all the fact that people don't have fair equity across the board is Dr. Williams. He is the architect of all this division. He didn't come out to build a country. He built a party knowing quite well that that party will define all the social functions of this country. He didn't try to build a country. You don't hear the followers saying that they'll be Trinbagonians until they die. They say they'll be PNM until they die. They don't even understand the power of a sovereign state. They don't even understand the importance of an independent state. No. They never came out to build a country and to elevate the people. They had a selected few. And what they did was they used the party to define the social function of the country. So don't come with that nonsense. Who's on the outside?
I think go to the top of the class to answer his question whether a corporation or a country. You have to just look at the United Nations. What Rowley and they have done is try to convert our country into a corporation so that they alone are the directors and the beneficiaries.
That's right.
Wow,
That's right.
Very good answer back. Wow. All of the lines are open. The lines have opened. The numbers to call 239-5120, 239-5120. Or 229-0251, 229-0251, or give us a WhatsApp call at 366-3053, 366-3053. Morning call, we're calling from. What's the contribution in the Going Report this morning?
Really like Friday.
Next week, Tuesday, please God. DPP office, 9 a.m.
All I will do is the location.
Nice.
All I will do is the location.
St. Vincent Street, Lennox Smith.
Richmond Street.
Eh?
Richmond Street.
Richmond Street. That the one where Mr. Gaspar is being though.
That's right. That's the one there. That's the headquarters.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Between Sackville and the Duke Streets.
So Richmond and Duke Street.
On Richmond Street, no. Richmond Street, but you know there are two crossing streets east and west. Well, between Sackville and Duke Streets.
Okay.
Between Sackville Street and Duke Street.
Yeah.
All right. So you all heard it. The lines are open.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
This is our problems.
Morning call. We're calling from. What's your contribution on the Going Report this morning?
Good morning. I will be there 9:30 Wednesday outside the
9 p.m. 9 p.m.
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Yeah, 9 a.m. Sorry, 9 a.m.
9 a.m. next week Tuesday, madam. Sorry about it. Tuesday. Next week Tuesday.
All right.
It's not Wednesday.
Not Wednesday. Tuesday. 9 a.m.
Great. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Wow. That lady
81
called just
days in the
year
so far. 81 days in the year so far. And 135
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning,
Morning. I am ready. Calling from Tobago, Belgarden. Coming down Trini Monday. I'll be down there till Thursday, so I will be there Tuesday. Right?
Nice.
I want Trinidad and Tobago to know that you have to have it to yourself. How life was in 2010 to 2015. How is life now? On that camera, I could have spent $700 on full of grocery cart. How much to full of grocery cart now, Trinidad and Tobago? Cost of living raised 6 times. All in talking about that. All in ready? Are you ready? And I'm coming out. I just leave Bago and come all them pushback. Are you ready for the pushback movement to awaken? Because only through the pushback movement I see real unity, all creed and race. None of this racial politics thing. So it's we the people that come out. Trinidad and Tobago, how long we go play dance at PNM, guy? It's a bag of dance what doing with this guy. Are you ready? And I'm coming out. Pitbull, I'll call you at Lennox next time. I have something serious I want to talk to all you about. So I'll call all you after the program.
Mikey, that is a serious man. Man, even Tobago, you know.
Oh, that's very
So let me see if Trinidadians who live in Trinidad can reach next week Tuesday morning, please God. DPP office, Richmond and Richmond Street. Yeah, 9 a.m. Caller, morning to you. Morning.
Yeah, Andy. I know where Richmond Street is. I'll be there. Near a small team coming. Alright, so I ready. Anytime pushback movement or anything, yeah, be going in the house. I coming down.
Nice, nice. Oh boy.
Alright.
Good morning, caller. Where are you calling from? What's your contribution on the Go report this morning?
Yeah, morning, Andy. Andy, I still see them stadium lights on them on years of the morning and them kind of thing.
Turn down the radio a little.
I still see them stadium lights, national stadium lights on years of the morning. What they doing is that time taxpayers money going on. There's a plan or something.
I saw it for myself. Only
daytime, only the daytime morning time, we seeing the sun up and them lights on. What really going on? Is a willful act or something going on here? Check on that now.
All right. Thank you very much. Mikey, you see how people is, eh? So at least we have an idea.
Yes.
Yeah, at least we have an idea because today the lines ain't so busy. Let me go to the lines. Morning caller. Where you calling from? What's your contribution on the Go report this morning?
Good. Yeah. Good morning, Vialva.
Go ahead, Vialva.
I will be there, man. I will be there for sure. Yes, it's time that we push back because that's why we're talking about constitutional reform is urgently needed. And Leonard Smith echoed the same sentiment because if there was constitutional reform, all this kind of madness here would have never been going on in the first place.
That's right.
So we need to stand up. We need to push back because at the end of the day, the government has been doing so much, and is a dictatorship continuous, and of course we must support the DPP, and I'm in solidarity with the DPP, so that we could, have some meaningful change in this country. It is time, and the people in this country, sometimes we wait until it reaches the 99th hour then to push back, which is unfortunate, but however, from now on going forward, I hope, they understand that you don't have to wait until the 99th hour to push back. We could push back at any time once we are dissatisfied about something because we employ them to work for us. And again too is education about the whole system and so on, knowing that only it's our taxpayers that are paying them and they are responsible to work for us, but we are their checks and balances we must have on them. So at the end of the day, we will have a better Trinidad and Tobago. Everyone have a responsibility, and we must not abrogate our responsibility anymore. Just like Singapore was a third world country, now is a first world country because they employ certain measures, and they are better off today. And we are third world, we could become a first world in the same way. So Andy, I'm saying again, I will be there. Trinidad and Tobago, I will be there.
Thank you very much. Bonifacio Villalva. Oh boy. Again, for the people that are serious. So that means all of the lines, they see the new people too, who does all they'll get through. Call. Now we know who's the serious people that when they say something, they mean something. Because that the people who call and so at least we can get count. So far, about 40 people going and be there. Morning caller, where are you calling from?
My brother, Romeo and you talk? Yes, this is it for Jerusalem. Work for our interview.
Nice.
Yeah, for me, so the marshal has to work for me to get something to Tobago.
Yes.
And he talks certain things. Well, I will be there, brother. Don't be shocked. I'll be very pleasant.
Very good.
It's about time somebody send that cocksucker to jail.
Yeah.
Time people go. I'll be there. So the DPP office will have my support.
Thank you very much, Tobago.
But are we seeing what's taking place, Andy? Before you go back to the
you go ahead.
I wanted people actually seeing what's taking place here, because the opposition leader is asking a very serious question. Is it that these attacks against the DPP, is it because Dr. Rowley and the PNM is fearful of the DPP because of the Vincent Nelson scandal? Is there a fear of that? Are we seeing, because right now there seems to be a smear campaign against Taipans, even to the point where he was, what should I say, was taken away from him the whole secondary roads program with that huge budget that is supposed to be under local government and rural development. Now, there's a serious smear campaign apparently, and I don't believe that certain individuals are simply just going to allow themselves to be thrown under the bus. Not when it is that you have been groomed and have been preparing for quite some time along with your family to get to sit in the big chair, that you will allow yourself to simply become a political utility, even in your own party, among the rank and file. So this is something that you have to ask the question, because it was asked. The secondary roads company that was put under the Ministry of Local Government promise and then 8 months later, not one road, according to the Honorable Kamla Prasad Visesa, not one road, and you pick up this company and you drop it in another ministry. Why? The company was announced that it would be taking decisions that all corporations should write to the local government minister listing the roads, the local government roads that should be put forward to be repaired. As a matter of fact, even the RDC and other entities that do road paving have found themselves in a very embarrassing situation, because recently they sent out tenders and then they had to send messages behind that saying, listen, forget about those tenders, because only to find out that another entity is going to do the job. And Kamla Prasad Visesa made it quite a shit. Well, as we say, not one road has been repaired, and they move it. Because according to what's being said, there were special people who were handpicked who was going to get the roads, and they was doing estimates and all of that. And I just told you about the tenders. But for some reason, they want to isolate this individual, isolate Taipans from everything. They don't want him to make certain powerful friends. They don't want him to network with certain people, because at some point in time, and I think he's understanding that quite well, I mean, the writing is on the wall, that they are going to start looking to simply push him all the way out. And we're seeing that, Andy. And of course, she asks if the money is now going to be funneled into Balize House, the slush fund in Balize House. Who is controlling that slush fund? There's a certain man is controlling that slush fund. The same man who recently name was called by the THA leader about jobs that was tendered with no sort of procurement, no sort of the above board process. Apparently, this man is also in charge of the Balize fund, the slush fund. Where they get the extra money from to put up all these things? So you understand, I wonder if people are seeing exactly. Keep an eye on Taipans. I don't believe that he is going to go down without a fight. Now, they want to distract you with all kind of nonsense talk about Coffin and, oh, they go on spiritual. They go on. I mean, I don't know. They're running some political church. That is neither here nor there. At the end of the day, you have to understand that we have to live in this country. And we are not going to stay here and just suffer because a handful of people believe that they are so much in control that they can deprive us of every basic thing. No, they work for us. We do not work for them. But keep an eye on Taipans. Again, I don't believe that he and his handlers are going to take this lightly. They are not simply going to go away. So now, in order to fix all of this, the number one political enemy is now the DPP. Start connecting the dots. what is it that he is doing or not doing in their favor that all of a sudden they're plotting and they have these orchestrated attacks, poorly orchestrated attacks on the DPP. Start connecting the dots. Something isn't right. And if we don't take a stand, if we are not there to hold that last piece in place for democracy, everything is going to fall down. We have to be the cornerstone. Each one of us have to stand our line, stand firm. A lot is taking place. Get involved. But you have to start to connect the dots and keep an eye. This smear campaign, they want to take it down the road about, hey, who doing this? And they have a coffin and they went to the RIC. Hey, forget that. This is bigger than all of that. Stay focused. And that's why next week Tuesday is so important. Don't forget, next week Tuesday, March 28th, come out. Are you ready?
We see that Rowley could be fearful of Gaspar because of what Nelson is saying. The Rowley government went behind the back of DPP Gaspar and engaged in witness tampering. I call on the Commissioner of Police to investigate witness tampering on the part of Faris Alwari and the government. If what Nelson is telling us transpired, you can get no better a case for witness tampering than what they did to induce Nelson to give evidence to prosecute and persecute Ramlogan and Ramdeen. Rowley is so fearful, they offered the inducements to Nelson. DPP didn't know nothing about that. DPP said he didn't know nothing. They went behind the back of the DPP to offer this man inducements. And I'll tell you, there was a newspaper over the weekend, but I'll share it with you tonight, what they promised Mr. Nelson to buy his testimony against Ramdeen and Ramlogan. All about money. The TTPS does not see any of this. They do not think it warrants an investigation. And you have to say, you have to wonder. Once it's a UNC, they're out for you. But when it's one of their own, there's a blind eye that is turned. And it must stop happening. Crime is crime. White color, blue color, any color. Crime is crime is crime. And those who do the crime must do the time. You have to do the time when you do the crime.
Well, the fact is that good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. The TPP's office I see as the last bastion of our democracy. And if it comes under the control of Keith Rowley, it means that one individual alone or political party, they will have now full authority to direct who investigates, monitors, targets, arrests, and now even prosecuted. If you recall, this is what has happened where it seems that this government, their hierarchy, their intention is to what is known as democratic dictatorship, have full control of every single so-called independent body, and by doing that, it means that you could direct even the police as to who should be investigated, and then even go now into the TPP's office to complete that line, that threshold of the criminal justice system to ensure that persons are prosecuted.
Morning caller, where are you calling from? What's your contribution in the ground report this morning?
I was born ready, and I'm calling here from the disunited, crumbling States of America. I just want to tell you guys that this is a non-partisan issue here. Whether you're yellow, whether you're red, whether you're UNC or PNM, this has to be. It cannot be just one side only, as Gary Griffith correctly said. This is the last year, I think is the term he used. And so one more thing, I realize and I see that some of the regular voices normally on your program here who are always, calling in and stuff like that. And in one particular case, someone is ill all of a sudden and can't turn up. No, I am not here to judge, but you know what? Actions speak louder than words. Even if you have to come out here in a wheelchair, I think you should. So that's just my piece to it, because I myself, out here in the disunited States of America, doing my own fight of a similar nature of what you guys are doing. And I hold and I carry no water, and I have no appreciation and with due respect, I want to say this: I have no appreciation for Keith Rowley or even the current leader of the UNC, Trinidad and Tobago. It is time for a change. And, the criminal justice system, it's said that it is on the verge of collapsing. I'm sorry. As I'm concerned, it has already collapsed. And out of the many cases, I just called one, the Akeem Chambers, the little boy, that situation, right? That and many others which you all could identify. You know what? There's no justice. The system has already collapsed. Thank you, gentlemen.
Tell us about this change.
God bless.
This change you're talking about. Tell us about it. Caller, you there?
Nah, already left. Let me take a next call.
He spoke about the current government and the opposition. What change is he talking about? What's the option? Let's hear. What is he saying?
We didn't get him to say that.
Here we go again.
Go ahead.
Who's on the outside?
Only I will be there, boy. People don't understand how serious this is, After this DPP office gone there, this come like the last of the Mohicans, you understand? But I will be there to support all.
That's Tuesday, next week Tuesday, please go 9 a.m. DPP office, and they say that's Richmond and...
Yeah. Think if you want a good crowd, announce one of them big fruit artists like Marshall, or one of them will be there and have a little rum and weed and thing. And they're the only way to get the people to come out in this country, but nobody are serious. And people are not how serious this is after the DPP gone. Let them lock up and do anybody as they seem to. So, to make that announcement, one of them soca artists will be down there. We might get a little extra crowd. Thank you, Pan.
Thank you, Donnie. Morning caller, we're calling from. What's your contribution to the Going Report this morning?
Morning, Andy.
And Mikey. Remember, Mikey K is in studio. Lennox Smith is in studio.
And I'll be there. Right? The dispute a man who prosecutes me already, but I like this fella, do it, John. And I will be there Wednesday. I taking a day off to come and support Roger Gaspar.
Not Wednesday, Tuesday. Tuesday. Yeah.
The only fear DPP we have, and Rowley and them, they have some money to put in place here, and they want to put them people so they can have a puppet to rule. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very good, very good. Another new calls, another new voices. We all voices all of a sudden. Who always calling? Olia, we ready? Mikey. Oh God. Me, Seven Kingsley. Morning caller.
Good morning, I'm Mikey K. I'll be there show for sure. Tuesday at the DPP office.
I don't understand what you say there. Let's get our next call. Morning caller. Where calling from? What's your contribution on the Going Report this morning?
Yeah, I'm from over here, but it's a constantly tell them it's Tuesday. So me and some workers coming up here Tuesday at 9. But constantly say it's Tuesday because plenty people really following it up right now.
Alright. That's what we're doing.
First time caller, lock and listening.
Nice. And look, you and your workers coming out Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. DPP office. Wow. In support. Morning caller, where calling from?
Yes, morning, Andy and Mikey and everybody. I'll be there Tuesday morning on Richmond Street by the DPP office. I'll be there.
Nice. Thanks very much. And the people who calling is people who going and be there, Mikey, this time. Morning caller, where calling from? What's your contribution on the Going Report this morning?
I am calling from Shogmonas, Edinburgh 500. Tuesday. Come in. All right.
You ready, boy? She ready, Edinburgh 500. Shogmonas ready. Morning caller, where calling from? Let's go to the lines. Morning caller, where calling from? What's your contribution to the Going Report?
Good morning. I will be in town Tuesday, Andy. I will be in town. I will until I find the place where I will be in town because I have to get rid of the government, Andy. We have to stand for the DPP, Andy. Because otherwise, Campus will be part. Yes, money can do it. Have a best president, my brother. Have a best president, my. presently.
Thank you very much. Next caller. Morning caller. Where you calling from? What's your contribution?
Morning, calling from Arima. I'll be there next week, Tuesday, 9 a.m. at DPP office. Listen, Andy, I listened to Victor Roberts' program last night. And listen, he was on fire. Victor preached. I wish you all could get on to him because he too will be having a match on the 7th of April. He wants to walk from Aranjuez, Savannah to Port of Spain. Victor, you have it right. You get him the whole base of the thing. It can't have nobody have it right like you, and he ain't afraid to talk. I think you all should try and get on to him this morning, please. Thank you.
Morning caller. Next caller. All the lines are open, Trinidad and Tobago. All are open. Let me give the number so new callers who want to give the commitment of being out there next week, Tuesday morning, please God, 9 a.m. DPP office, Richmond Street. The last pillar of democracy. We're going there to stand for it.
Hello?
Morning caller. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, morning, ground report. First time caller on the show, but I'm always on the chat. I just want to let you know that I'll be there on Tuesday, and it's that.
And it's that.
And it's that.
Hey. People calling, boy. Morning caller. Where you calling from? What's your contribution on the ground report this morning? Oh boy, we lost that call. Come, next one. Morning caller. Where you calling from? What's your contribution on the ground report?
Tagariba will be here.
But I thought you love Rowley.
I love him. Rowley, nobody loves like me.
And Tagariba will be there, Trinidad and Tobago. So the regular voices is coming in, man. Let's see, because people wondering. But wait, look how much new people getting in because regular voices just quiet because the rule says so long as you call, it's because you're coming out. Morning caller, where you calling from?
Good morning, Andy and Mikey. Whether I call or not, Andy, it's Woodbrook here. Whether I call or not, you know I coming out. You understand? And Andy, this morning, you know something, let me tell you, I straight up. I don't like what you do to Tanapuna because you know what, let me tell you this. Tanapuna, you say all who not coming, don't call. But Tanapuna explained to you earlier on, he has a health problem. As much as I would like to see Tanapuna out, I don't want a man to come out and get a heart attack. We have any health services to take care of this man? No, the ground report is about that. We are about building, not destroying. So I think you should really, apologize.
Right, but before you continue, let me apologize to one of our loyalists, Mr. Tunapuna. If he could, he will, because he always used to be before his health problem. That's facts. That's facts.
Not like some of these mocking pretenders are coming out, are coming out, and when they come, they ain't coming out. And let me tell you now, if these people don't come out in the hundreds of thousands Tuesday, it's like everything there, you know, because you recognize if these dons, these dotish people, these obedient slaves don't understand, this is the last straw. They're controlling the government, controlling the police, they're controlling the chief justice. You know, they can make a long story short. They're controlling every institution in this country. You understand? Everything is headed or controlled by yes men and yes women. All of them is controlled from a set of people from Sesame Street. When Rowley tell them to jump, they say how high. These people don't know nothing about right and wrong. These people are people that would not stand up and say, no, I cannot do this because it is not right. And when you look at it, you see with this Ram Logan and them, you have a government that's setting up innocent people. Put yourself in these people's place. You feel it is nice for somebody to come to set you to say you do something and you don't do it. Imagine you want to pay 10 million. Here, let me tell you now. Let me tell all you this morning now. And hear me good. You see PNM afraid the UNC. They know the power of the UNC. And PNM know if they let UNC exercise that power and the people decide to support and come out and deal with the government for all the wrongdoing, they know they're gone long time. So the only way that they can stay in government is by lying and setting up this one and letting this one frame this other one. If you are if you have good governance, you feel you will have to have people in every institution to lie and set up and frame up and protect it. No, you wouldn't have that because you know what? You are honest and straightforward. But you know your government and everything based on lies. Everything based from the EBC, all of them. You understand? So if tomorrow, please God, these people don't come out. Because let me tell you this now. When you see the DPP, if they get rid of he and they get another PNM puppet to put in, but then they're going to be covered. They're going to be fully covered. So they're going to charge you, so block you, so do you this. Because the police, because they tell you the police is to investigate and the DPP is to charge. And when you have the police investigating nobody, if it's the little boy by the corner standing up like me with a stick of weed, they go, holy. But up to now, you going to tell me you ain't arrest Harare? I remember when it was at the airport situation, they went and they arrested everybody in the UNC who they say was involved in the thing, and they had these big men, lawyers, executive, everybody going up in the courthouse. So why the hell these people in PNM are going to the courthouse? And it is evidence that they are breaking the law 24/7. Nobody not lying on them. Nobody making up no story on them. The ground report coming every morning and telling you the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. When you hear the kind of things that people involved in, why are they not arrested? Why are they not charged? Why are they untouchable? Lawyers for all, lawyers for all. But let me tell you now, you see, and then the point is, when you look at it, UNC having 2 seats less on the government. 2 seats less. And this massive destruction taking place in this country. Look, you see me and they tell you, I am going to be there Tuesday, please God. Whether I call or not, I'm going to be there. And I want the people to come out in their large number. Because they're coming out for the DPP, you know, or you're coming out for all yourself, or you're coming out for all your children, because you don't know when they will set all you up, and all you will have nobody or nothing to defend all you. Look at, you ever see school children fighting like you were fighting now? You ever see people getting murdered more than dogs in this country, and people still sitting down and accepting that? Look now, if all you come out now, all you come out again, people fed up telling, and you know something? If all you had listened to Mikey, Lennox, and Andy, but since 2015, and all you used to come out, our country would have never get to the condition it is. And the reason why the country is as it is all your stupid people to be blamed. All you like to listen and believe PNM lies. When Rowley tell all you about bananas, all you believe that right away, all you jump up. But let me tell you all this, and you're going now. The point is this, the PNM has lied on just about everybody in the UNC and everybody who have a permanent position in this country. They set them up, they lie, and they have the gang, they have the posse around doors, the brotherhood and sisterhood around doors, to frame these people, to charge these people. Look, all like Joala, they had the president fire these people. Then in plain they do people thing in this country, you know. But now it's them turn, it's them turn. And I want the people to know, it is very easy to scatter feathers, but it is impossible to retrieve them. So when you think about everybody in UNC reputation, you can't change that now. But you know something? It's all your turn now. People, all you come out in all your hundreds of thousands tomorrow. No excuse. All you come out for all your...
Tuesday, not tomorrow. Tuesday. Next week Tuesday.
Sorry. Next week Tuesday. Alright? So all you come out in all your hundreds of thousands. No, that's no excuse. What are you afraid? Are you afraid of victimization? What the hell all you can lose? What the hell all you can lose? All you tired going in the grocery and passing down the aisle and can't pick up all you want? All you tired in the hospital? Look, a friend of my mother went in the hospital for an elderly lady. You know what they do? They strap that woman to the bed. Yeah? When she come out, her 2 elbows bruised up. That is the kind of thing all you want to continue. All you coming out for all yourself. How much time people can tell all you the same damn thing? Look now, fellas, God bless all you. All you keep the fire burning, and all you keep telling. They can't say they don't know, because they're experiencing it, they're seeing it, and they're hearing it. All you're telling them every morning the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Now they're getting a chance to do something about it. Let me see if they go come out. Yeah? Time for talk done.
Time for talk done, Mr. Book, say Mikey K.
That's right.
Boy, the lines are real lit up this time. And Mr. Tunapuna, for a matter of fact, with my apology, because the rainy days are regular and we do know about the health situation, I'll be calling you for your contribution in a little bit here. Morning caller, where calling from? What's the contribution on the ground report?
Good morning, gentlemen. Barack for calling here. And I would be there. Gentlemen, you see, and this is the last time I ever participated any kind of thing like this again. Because we really not serious in this country. We didn't supposed to reach where we are today, where we reach the last pillar of democracy in Trinidad and Tobago to start to make our stand. We're supposed to be taking this thing serious from the day one. As soon as Rowley come into power, and he decided that, oh, here what, you come into power on the ticket that here what, the previous government was corrupted, and you're going to take people to the courts and you're going to get them prosecuted. How much of that happened so far? In fact, everybody so far that bring issues against this government win the matter in court, and who are to pay that? The citizen of this country. But the big situation where people are looking at right now is that the government, this government, haven't done nothing in this country to improve the lives of the people or to create any sort of revenue that could sustain the stability of this country for the future. The only way they could be able to get money now is to be able to bring in the property tax, and the DPP will be playing a major role when you see they want to start to enforce property tax into this country. And if they don't have a pipsqueak or some puppet in that office, they're going to lose our case and all. So we had to be thinking now that, oh, this is not a matter of just getting rid of the DPP fallout with that. And we had to think about now why it is they want to control this office, because the only way they could get revenue back into this, for them to thief and do whatever they want to do, they have to be able to control our office, because we know that our collecting property tax would be breaking the law, because you cannot justify how it is you're going to start to tax people money for their property when my neighbor got pay 5,000, I got pay 2,000, this one got pay 3,000, which is unfair. Plus, how it is that you could be taxing people who working hard and earning an income, and then you're putting up people in HEC apartments all over the country, and they living free off of the hard-working taxes. So that case have no merit in the courts of Trinidad and Tobago. So, in order now for them to try to force the hands of the people and to put them under this dictatorship, they had to control the judicial system. They had to control the DPP office. They had to get somebody to say, hey, here what? They have to pay the property tax. And if they pay the property tax, we're going to send them to jail, or we're going to seize the property and all these kind of things. So we had to be opening up our brain cells in our head and start to think and ask ourselves, where is the future going for Trinidad and Tobago? Why it is all of a sudden these people decide that here what? They want to come and control police, they want to come and control that, and election coming up soon. Now there isn't one case nowhere in the world that is straight cut and dry like the wrongdoing that Alwari did. Today any banana republic anywhere in the world, Alwari would be in jail. This is a man who was the Attorney General, sit in office and went well, we had to call him a convict or a bandit because he participated in something that was wrong that he get convicted for. So this man coordinated and consulted with a bandit and paid. Well, he paid. He make allegations of making payments to this man to get information to prosecute people in Trinidad and Tobago. This is what a sitting Attorney General did in this country. And police has seen nothing. The law association has seen nothing, and we have this person walking around. Suppose you get up in the morning and all of a sudden you do something wrong against or you say something or they like you, and then get up in the morning and say, hey, here what you see, we're going to send him in jail, we're going to lock up your wife, we're going to lock up the children and all these kind of things. Where you stand in this country, where you stand in the country, that's why you see the crime in the country is deteriorating. Nobody have no confidence anymore in anything that is police or the judiciary again in this country. And if people don't wake up and understand that this is going to be a brutal situation for the future generation coming up in this country, if we don't stop this nonsense. And when you say I go to a protest, I don't go to my identification and things. I just go to a little note in my pocket saying that I give my name, who to contact, and how to bury me. Because are you ready to dead anytime for this dotishness? Me don't know pipsqueak kind of stupid man when you see you come to protest, you're walking in a placard and you're swinging your leg and holding a Stag bottle in your hand. Are you ready to do it, You understand? And if people don't really understand what's going on, look, I have 2 children. You feel like anything in my life, again, me, I'm real comfortable in life, Real comfortable, I don't even have to think about even wanting to voice our opinion, Every day I can sit down and eat steak and lamb and everything, But it hurted my heart, boy, to know where I come from. And now to see that all my children will be outside there in this wilderness and for wolves to attack them like how they do Andhra Bharat and thing, and you have no protection in this country. If you see something going wrong and you open your voice, that they prosecute you because you have aligned some political party or some kind of thing, and people in this country sitting down and taking that dotishness, them just comfortable going to the forensic science center and identifying the son and crying and thing, and then they go hold some dotish wake and fet and party over the dead body. That's what people like in this country, you know. They like to go out in a blaze of glory and celebrate it like there's some kind of matter or some kind of thing, you know. They have no value to understand what life is, you know. And when you see you travel and you go places and you feel the difference, your blood just settle, all your stress just go away. Just walk in the streets and understand why it is you can live the same lifestyle, and these people may have quarter the resources that we have in this country, you know. Gentlemen, have a good morning. See you all next week Tuesday. Later, Marty.
Thanks very much, my brother. Next week Tuesday, please go at DPP office, Richmond Street. Mikey, you want to say something? Wait, before I say something, let me just do something because we have Mr. Tunapuna. Mr. Tunapuna, play some good morning to. Wait, Mr. Tunapuna, don't say nothing yet. I have to play something. Wait. Don't say nothing yet. Let me just play something quick. Just now. Right. Just now. Don't say nothing yet.
We take this opportunity to advise that the show, The Healthiest Corner on Earth, has been preempted today. We do apologize for any inconvenience.
And that will be a Tuesday. Yes, it will be next week Tuesday. Please go on. The Healthy Corner. Oh boy, go ahead, Mr. Tunapuna.
Ground report, good morning, fellas. Andy Lennox, I want to apologize. And I say, because just I'll tell you something. Just about 10 minutes ago, I did some checking my blood pressure and whatnot, Andy and Lennox. My pressure read 179, 117, and 110. Understand what I'm saying? So when you see that I saying, and I would call and make my contribution, but to come out and think, because here why? Last night I take in. I had very serious, I don't know, Andy, if it is as a consequence of my taking the vaccine, I started to suffer with serious blood pressure and short breath. As I finish eating, I cannot catch myself, I have to lie down, which you're not supposed to do after eating. It's because of, this is the problem I experiencing, Andy.
Wait, so you did take the vaccine, but before the vaccine, you was never experiencing those problems?
I never experienced those things, Andy. No high blood pressure, no nothing like that. Nor did I suffer any short breath and what have you, as I am experiencing right now. God hear me as I say this. And as I just say, 10 minutes ago, I took my pressure and whatnot and thing, and everything was over the 100 and something, Andy. So I want to let people know, I don't run from struggle. I don't run from protest, because I'll tell people this. In 1970, I was part of the protest, and the police had me on the ground on Charlotte Street with the police boots on my neck, had me lying down flat on Charlotte Street. You understand? And a SLR over me. That's one. Secondly, I was the mastermind behind the protest of the removal of Sally Kowal, the U.S. ambassador, which I initiated. Aaron McLeod is alive, he could testify to that. And we went and we marched in front of the U.S. Embassy, apart from all my other protest march and demonstrations and things in front of all the Prime Minister's office, in front of the DPP's office, the minister, all the different protests and things. And my health is not as good as it is, my brother. I am 71 years of age. And my presence there in spirit is always there. If it is that I could come there on next week Tuesday for just a little while, just to show my face, I wouldn't mind doing it. But as I say, I cannot, my brother. I cannot. Believe me to
You know that, yes. We understand that, man. We understand that.
We understand fully. As I'm talking to you, I'm starting to get the short breath. But let me make my contribution.
Go ahead.
This whole issue with the DPP. In the initial stage, when this thing came, this Mark Bus, the DPP distanced himself. He said he knew nothing about it. Faris Alwari never questioned it, that the DPP knew about it. He never challenged it. He said, I took the thing to the cabinet, and the cabinet sanctioned it. Keith Rowley said he knew nothing of it. You understand? He knew nothing of it. But here it is, Al Rawi saying that the Prime Minister knew about it. Then now you haven't, I heard all the talking this morning that Nelson is saying that the DPP knew about it. Is that right?
Yes. Lennox Smith mentioned that.
Right,
yes,
but
in a letter to the DPP, yes.
Right. Well, I'm not saying this, this is a whole concoction. These fellas and them bribe this man and Skanda Prasad saying that they actually paying him, they buying his witness statement to come out and lie, because here why he in the initial stage the DPP was never involved in this, and all of a sudden you hear now Nelson is saying that the DPP knew about it. It is that because Rowley and these fellas and them realizing that the thing is the fan and that they have no choice but to tell Nelson, look, we're going to pay you the money, but you have to come out and say the DPP knew about it, because the DPP in the initial stage said he knew nothing about it. You understand? They didn't challenge his statement. They never did. So, Keith Rowley said he never knew anything about it. Al Rawi said he took it to the cabinet. So you see where this whole scenario is taking place. I want to say something about the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice, you will have to bat for Rowley. Because when the motion was moved by the Law Association to have you removed or to be impeached, Keith Rowley said that he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. You had situations where the members of the Law Association, one Miss Carol Gubin, had challenged the Chief Justice, and he promised us chance for her to Tobago, which he took to the court action to have that revoked. Secondly, there was the other issue with Caesar, remember Mikey?
Yes. Go ahead.
A promotion with her. And which the Chief Justice promised her, and which she challenged it because they end up coming and revoke it. So the point I'm making to you is the Chief Justice going to bat for Keith Rowley, and Keith Rowley is going to bat for the Chief Justice, because as it is started, stand, my brother, nobody is going to challenge. People are fearful from within the judiciary, the magistracy, the lawyers and everybody is afraid to challenge the status quo, because they're afraid of victimization. You understand? This is not no ordinary thing. And I just always remind all the fellas, when Keith Rowley, the truest statement he could make is when he said we're a brotherhood of wrongdoers. It's a mafia. We keep each other secret. And if you expose us, we will kill you politically. Andy and Mikey and all, this is no ordinary statement, you know. This is coming from the mouth of a prime minister, one who is associating himself with a drug dealer, one who has been blacklisted, which is Maduro and the whole thing. Look what's going on with PDVSA. As I tell all you, Georgia went and signed a deal with PDVSA, a secrecy thing. One of PDVSA top honchos just about 2 or 3 weeks ago, who they accused of bribery and whatnot and thing. He killed himself and his 3-year-old son in a hotel in America. Now you hear another matter coming up again with some official from PDVSA again. I saw it on the news last night. He was Minister of Energy or something like that in Venezuela, belonging to PDVSA, and he resigned. This is what this government, Keith Rowley and them, is having the thing that having this country blacklisted, and you have the Chief Justice and all of them protecting this man. I am calling, because let me tell you something, let me get away from
Wait, but before you go anywhere else, you deal with that aspect. Now I just want to ask you, because you could organize and close off with this aspect, which is, you talk about the president you're not confident in, the Chief Justice, in fact, you're not confident in. So what about Ms. Erna, who said God and God will intervene, the police commissioner? Because again, what we are calling for is for the DPP to send a file to the police commissioner, this new one, to investigate the cabinet, the government, for witness tampering, for misbehavior in public office, for all the crime, and she must start investigating. Do you have that confidence in her?
Andy, definitely not. And I'll tell you why I say that. PNM have a history of track record with John Jeremy, Jeffrey Henderson, all the people with the presidents and all these people who they had in their bosom. You had the last police commissioner. What he did? Any investigation? Once you see the Prime Minister, the PNM appoint you and me, and as I said, I just read it out for you, we keep each other secret. And if you expose us, you understand what I'm saying?
So now we risk the chance of the PNM now appointing, if they get rid of this DPP, appointing a new PNM DPP that going on.
Yes, Andy, and I want to draw full. I'm going a little extended on this. Remember, we still have to get the report on the barrier fuel thing, which is going to the Prime Minister and whoever and whatnot. That could be sanitized. That doesn't have to come up because people, this implies simple, serious implication, where people could be involved. The Stuart Young, the Newman George, and all these fellas, the Mushtaq Mohammed, the head of Parry and all that fellas. You see, I'll tell you something, when people hear me making statements about Indian people, they just like things. My history is like Waya Andy. You know me, Leonard Man Mikey. I don't talk about race because I have no affiliation to no race or no religion. Look, I listened yesterday on the news, the professor of history. I don't know if it's a professor or a professor. Tilak Singh from the university yesterday criticized the opposition for not attending the inauguration of the president. See, damn fast and out of place. Because just recently, you had the teachers from UWI marching and protesting for better wages. Did you support them? Did you come out and march with them? Did you criticize them? I tell you something, because he's looking to protect his workers. I let them you. And this is what these Indians and them that do. They will side with PNM. Once it's going to benefit them. You understand what I'm saying, fellas? This is no ordinary thing. And PNM have that thing. And as always say this, the African man have no business. Those who vote for PNM is a bunch of stooge, the African people. Because here why? But the Indians who vote for PNM is because they are business oriented and they will get something in return. They are licked behind. This is how they are, Andy. I'm not fooling myself to hide a thing about it. And I am saying this thing has serious implications. Because here me tell you something. And this is Israel Khan and all them fellas. Them fellas are them 2 tongue, 4 tongue. Because you is the man who's saying, give the DPP, give the Attorney General a chance. After all his faux pas he made, and you still come in the thing. Because you know why? The Attorney General office have a budget of $1 million. And all your fellas looking for briefs from the DPP and from the Attorney General office. But I want to tell Roger Gaspard, my brother, I'm calling on you today. Stand firm. Your country is behind you. They support you. You are the only person who seems to have an independent position where this government is concerned. Take that file. Because, and I want to remind people today, watch the parliament today, because I listened to Kamala said, today the parliament is they're having parliament in session today. And you know what they're going to discuss, Andy? Hello?
What are they going to discuss?
They're going to discuss the whistleblowing legislation. And this thing could have with tampering, witness tampering and all of that. And it is with this blowing legislation, this whole thing with Nelson Gate and all of them. Today will be some bacchanal, it's supposed to have a bacchanal.
No, but I would like the opposition to support it, but support it where it's retroactive, where you could go back on anybody that witnessed tamper and do this and do that, just like rape and all them thing and murder and thing. Let it be retroactive. So it had no date, and the opposition should support that, because
it's not statute bar, I think.
No statute bar, yeah.
It could be a thing, but what I am saying is this, Andy. The only 2 people in this country, the only 2 that speaks out, or I shouldn't say 2 people, but 2 organizations, 2 bodies that speak out of the wrongdoing of this country is the Ground Report and the opposition. Everybody, all institutions. Where's Transparency International? Where's the Integrity Commission? Where's the Vishnu Raghunath and all these so-called stooges? Who's supposed to deal with them? What? Ethics of the politics and whatnot. Where are they? Where is this next stooge? Munilal Lalchan, the procurement regulator. Where are they? And all these are things that taking place in this country with every blasted body who the PNM put in position. They're silent. They're afraid to open their mouth. Because you know why? They could just sit down there and at the end of the month collect a salary. They don't care the hell about the interest of this country. Understand what I'm saying, Andy? So we in a predicament, and I am calling on the DPP to send that file to the police and give her a mandate. We want a mandate, not just send it to you. And you will keep it there on your desk and say, well, investigation is ongoing. And investigation might put. Because everything that they send to the police to investigate, it is ongoing, We cannot get a time factor as to when the completion of any investigation is to take place. And there are so much issues that before the police commissioner, the Minister of National Security, and all of them, where is Paula Gopi's son matter with the boat issue? Where is Xiao Chong stepdaughter matter and all these things? Where is going on?
Where's Faris Alwari matter with the children on the range?
Andy, let me tell you this pain. I just want to say this, and people might get to this. Sometime when Malcolm X was called leaders, because he know me personally, and he will criticize me and whatnot. But I want to tell him the stupidity that he did was when he went with Rougie and them and marched for Section 34, and they understand what the hell Section 34 was. All them was talking about is to get Galpar and Singh and them fellas and them off the charge and whatnot and thing. When Kamla and them said the Section 34 was for any matter that is 10 years and more for those cases to be thrown out. Who are the people in the jail today that have cases of 10 years and more? Andy? The little black boy. So Malcolm X, when all you call in and all you understand what the hell all you do and all you revoke Section 34 that you have for all your little black African brothers incarcerated in jail. All you is responsible. You and Rougie and all of you who went and marched for Section 34. You understand? So don't come with this kind of thing, all this hypocrisy, and you want to take action thing about I call in and I talk and whatnot. I call with reason. I just do my own work. And I know all you today, these little black boys who perish in the jail and cannot get justice because you see why? The system has collapsed. Where the DPP is saying that it's short staff and they cannot handle matters in the court or what have you. All of that culminate from the Section 34 thing. Fellas, all you have a blessed day and God bless all you richly for what all you're doing and standing up for this country. And sooner or later, don't be surprised, the police may come visiting all you. I am telling all you this because this is what this Keith Rowley put a president in place, put a police commissioner in place. And once you see you have the whole thing with the Chief Justice, the Attorney General, and every arm, as Gary Griffith said, of the so-called independent institution on their crutches, fellas expect anything. And if this call is a call for people to come out, as I say, I don't know if I've been God hear me.
Don't worry, we know that, Tunapuna, don't worry. So again, as Mr. Tunapuna said, next week, Tuesday morning, please go to DPP office, Richmond Street. We all going there in support of the DPP. Walk with your candles, because they can't say we didn't get permission to protest. So they no. We come to pray. Walk with your candles, your different color candles, whatever color you believe in. At 11 o'clock, we'll be lighting those candles and delivering a letter to the DPP in support of him and to send the files to the police commissioner to investigate the government, the cabinet. Faris Alwari, the Nelson Gate issue must be investigated. Oh boy.
Good. That's right.
Nice. Call us morning.
Who's on the outside?
Morning, caller. Where calling from? What's the contribution of the phone call?
Yes, sir. I'm still ready, and I see Mr. Smith wanted me to define what I meant by change, and to Mr. Tunapuna, I
asked you what you say about change. You did mention the current administration as well as the opposition, so I wanted some clarity on that.
Right.
What change are you saying?
Absolutely. And before I do, if you allow me to just give my views apologies to Mr. Tunapuna and my empathy to him, and I hope you get better soon, sir. And okay, so what I mean by change, you see, here's the thing about it, and maybe it cannot be done, maybe it could be done. I'm an optimist, but you know what? There is change. It's not the parties per se is the problem in Trinidad and Tobago. It is a mentality that has infected both sides of whether it's the opposition and the ruling party, right? It's the leadership, the people who are at the very top. It's not just one person, and you all know who these folks are. It is time for a change. And if you can't do the change inside, do it outside. And I'm not just talking about political parties either, right? There are individuals who wouldn't speak up. And when they do, they are ostracized, they are labeled, their reputations, their attempts to assassinate their reputation and so on. You all know this, right? Kamala Bissessar, I heard that woman say, to hell with country. And please don't, right? And it's party, right? You know what? That is so wrong. Keith Rowley, we don't have to go no further. You all say enough about that individual, right? It is time for the new generation to step up to the plate. And look, you guys ain't that old. You ain't that old. You are part of the new generation. Gary Griffith is part of the new generation. Yes, a lot of people don't like him. He's very abrasive. He's sometimes not very diplomatic. But you know what? Sometimes you want a diamond, it's in the rough. You know? So, as far as I'm concerned, it's the leaderships of both the current administration and the opposition. Because you know what they have to their advantage? It's a mentality that a lot of the average citizens have. You know, Chris Rock put it very well when he spoke about what we call selective outrage. You are outraged when you see injustice. You are outraged when you see corruption, right? But yet, when it's in your own backyard, the blinders are on. And that's what selective outrage is all about, right? I want to tell you something too. You know what? These criminals on the other side, in the guess what? They can still travel and go to the United States, right? Because they have what? Diplomatic immunity, right? But can Mr. Pandey, can Steve Ferguson, can Ish and so on, right? You think they can enter the United States? You know that situation with the airports, that corruption scandal. Guess what? People made jail out there in the United States. And I truly challenge out to any of those individuals on the opposite side in the UNC. Come visit the United States. Any port of entry you go into, guess what? There are individuals waiting right there, as we say it out here, the farm boys from Virginia or, and so on, right, belonging to the alphabet agencies, they will be willing to accommodate arrive. Because you know what? There are people who made jail out here in the US in relation to that scandal. So you know what? Right? Fair is fair. Okay? You have corruption on both sides of the aisle. You have the untouchables, you have the individuals, major donors to their parties. They are the untouchables. So that is what I meant by change. I don't carry water for nobody. I have relatives, I have good friends, I have connections with individuals on both sides of the aisle, in the opposition and in the current administration. And Winston Churchill said it best. Sometimes it takes courage to say nothing, right? And just as much as it takes courage to say something, right? But guess what? Just like COVID don't care whether you're rich, you're poor, you're black, you're white, you're UNC, you're PNM, you're Democratic or Republican, COVID will get you. And same thing too, as far as corruption is concerned, okay? Guess what? Nobody is immune to it. And
think it is time that you guys, as supporters of the UNC, you call a spade, okay? So, after all the problems in Trinidad with the collapse of the justice system, guess what? Attorney generals on both sides ran things and got it to where it has. It has collapsed, gentlemen. And this is why what you're trying to do on Tuesday is happening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller.
Andy?
Oh boy.
First of all, the comment that he made, I know you cleared that up along with Senator Anil Roberts. And I think that was in reference to Kamala Prasad talking to Vasan Bharat. There you go, right. So
I'm telling you, we need to clear that because real foreigners taking like that, and plenty of people in Trinidad and Tobago are thinking that Kamala Prasad said that put party first before country. I tell you that is one of the things when I go in and meet people in the communities that they were telling me. When I had to be explaining that she never said that, and what she was saying was in reference to Vasan Bharat back then campaigning with Gypsy them, the PNM in Moruga, but wanting to be the leader of the UNC.
No, so I want to be honest with that last caller there. I have always advocated for the fact that we, the people, are the ones who hire these politicians to represent us in the interests of our business, which is Trinidad and Tobago. It's no different than what Robert Amar is asking for, to give the power back to the people. But there are those who will come in, and it's, I explained it, it's an above coup. They will come in and distort the law and use that, of course, only for their personal gain and political benefit. And that's what we're witnessing here in Trinidad and Tobago currently. Nobody is stopping young people from getting involved. And I know many of them are turned off because they say, listen, I don't want to be a part of it. But no, again, we need to define what is politics. And politics is not defined based on how you feel and the fact that you believe that both of them is the same and no matter what. No, that kind of attitude is something that you have to realign. You have to change that whole outlook. So I agree with you on that, sir. I really and truly do. We have the power. We need to understand that. And if it is that our party is in administration, in government, then yes, we have a right to call them out on their wrongdoing as well. You are so correct.
And we have said that we will call them out if ever they go down that road, what we're only going on them doing here.
That's right. But somebody made a comment, I believe, sometime earlier before and said in any other country, developed country, whatever, first world status, whatever it may be, what was done here by the former Attorney General Faris Alwari definitely would not or could not have been swept under the carpet. Now, they want to control and manage the entire narrative and talk about, like I said before, coffin and this and that. No, that's not the issue here. The issue here is the Commissioner of Police, and as much as she wants to tell us that she is, spiritually or theologically inclined, that's all good and well, madam. That's fine. But I hope you take those spiritual virtues and apply it to the fact of the rule of law that we are governed under. I hope you take that and you do what needs to be done as the Commissioner of Police. Because again, promises were made, things were said, and in any other country, Andy and the listeners out there,
because it's in black and white, Mikey. It is in black and white.
Let's look at what's in black and white. Let's look at what's in black and white. If it is that the Commissioner of Police can't see it, we'll have to help her. Because on October 5th, 2017, the former AG Faris Alwari informed Nelson's former attorney, Roger Kawal Singh, you remember him, right? We all remember Kawal Singh, the man who, according to Kamala, who buy the Porsche that was never registered. We heard Senator Roberts talk about that. So he gave, that if Nelson gave a notarized statement against former UNC politicians Anand Ramlogan SC and Gerald Ramdeen, he, Alwari, would ensure that Nelson was paid for the work he did for the government. This is Nelson money, It come like, all right, it come like you building a box drain. Administration change. And they say, yeah, what's going on, Andy? We know you owe your money, you know. You do the job, you pour out your money, you go through the entire logistics. You did everything that was needed as part of the tendering process and the BOQ. But here what's going on. We wanted to go on battle, Kamla. We wanted to make up some lies about somebody. We wanted to say that so we could give you your own money. So they went hold the payments. And they say, hey, if you sign this thing that says Anand and Ramdeen, them is two thieves, corrupt, whatever, we will pay you your money that we owe you, your money that you work for. So the period for payment, the letter said, covered 2010 to 2013 and February, December 2018. He got payments and so on, and he sued when, of course, the government was changed. He sued for work he had done, and it had to go to appeal. And then Faris got to somebody and tell him, look, don't worry, we'll pay you the money. All you have to do is come and talk about Ram Logan and Ramdeen. And so said they did pay him, which is about $10 million after that. On top of that, promise number 2, the second alleged promise, make sure you understand what I'm saying, you know. So when you listen to the airwaves, where they're trying to take you down a road about Coffin and this talk and who is that, waste of time. Promise number 2, the second alleged promise set out in the letter was that his notarized statement would only be shown to the DPP and the ACIB, but not any criminal investigating body or prosecuting body outside of TNT. This just staying here. It had no problems with you outside, right here, within the boundaries, within the borders of Trinidad and Tobago. So, they never showed anybody in the UK, but somebody leaked it to the UK, and that is how Nelson get in trouble. So he can't practice law in the UK. What they say is thief from thief. Yes, of course, you know the rest.
May God
so
laugh.
Promise we're not going to give anybody, just the DPP and the Anti-Corruption Bureau, that information. Nelson gave the statement on October 26, 2017 and provided all kinds of documents in return for the indemnity promised to him by Al-Wari. The letter said, promise number 3, it was alleged that Faris undertook as part of the indemnity agreement to recommend to the DPP that no criminal proceedings will commence against Nelson. Faris promised he will tell the DPP no criminal proceedings. Now that was broken too, because they charged Nelson in the court, and up to now he is owing the court fines for that charge $2.something million. Promise number 4, the DPP was told that the former AG recommended to him on diverse occasions in 2018 that he should not prosecute Nelson because of the promises Faris made. He would not be charged. He would not be fined. He wouldn't have to, of course, be held accountable. So promises 5 to 9 now. These alleged promises related to the indemnity agreement and Nelson's statement. It said that the Trinidad and Tobago government would not give the UK's National Crime Agency, the NCA, the document and so on. They promised further a presidential pardon for Nelson. I want to repeat that. Sorry.
Yeah, and this lady only served 1 term. And remember, we asked on the ground report, if it is before she go parliament weeks, had you give a presidential pardon in our 60th independence when there was thinking if Nelson is in that bunch? Remember, we still don't know.
We still don't know. So they promise a presidential pardon for Nelson. That might very well happen now. Connect the dots. Who's there currently? All right. This Nelson, I don't know. That Faris would make sure he's not prosecuted. That is the belief. That would sell the man, whether the man get chained up or not. That is what go on. That Faris would make sure he's not prosecuted. That Faris would get him all the millions. That Faris would get him. And what else? presidential pardon. These were promises that would have been quite inviting to Nelson. Come on, man. So you understand what's going on there. And then, hold on. Let me 10 to 11. These allege that an undertaking was provided to Nelson and his attorney agreeing to pay him, which came after he threatened not to come to this country. Remember, he said, unless you pay me the money, I am not coming to give evidence. And all of this would have remained secret if it were not for the DPP Roger Gaspard, who took a stand against this madness. So is it all that I have just stated there? Is all of this the reason why Mr. Gaspard is now political public enemy number one?
Wow.
And don't we have a right to let him know that we the people, because he has to answer to us, each one of them, they have to answer to us.
And that's why we're going out there Tuesday for Roger Gaspard to answer for us and give him the support.
That's right. If anybody is asking for transparency in this and accountability, it has to be us, the people, the main stakeholders of this country. He has to answer to us. And he needs to know that if it is that everything he has done is above board and he was in the dark, then we not only sympathize with him, but we have to support him on this. Because his removal is going to be detrimental to the process of our democracy. So understand the importance of all of this. I know you're out there looking fit. I know you're trying to carve out a living. I know things haven't been easy. I know, because we all feeling it. I know you go to the supermarket, you don't know what to pick up because you're watching your pocket, you're watching your purse. I know that. I know you're tired getting letters from the bank and the credit union and from the insurance company. I know that. I know you're feeling ashamed because your children watching you and for some reason you're still trying to make ends meet. But yes, but there's something greater than that. The freedom of you to go out there and pursue a good life. Because as Andy said this morning, and as the opposition leader said, tomorrow it could be Amar, tomorrow it could be Andy, it could be myself, it could be Lennox, it could be any one of us. And that's the importance of next week Tuesday.
Lennox Smith, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to point out two nuances that may have been either overlooked or wasn't brought into the discussion. And that is, the first one is that Arari exploited the man to the degree where he had this cancer that he wanted, and he had no money to go abroad and address medically. And the man, like a political coup, the man extract that and push the man in the position where he had no choice in a sense. According to a letter he sent to the DPP, I'm talking about Vincent Nelson here, and he was boxed into that situation. They for political gains, for political reasons, they exploit the man's health. I mean, to me, that is the most heart-wrenching, hard, evil, cold, inhumane, and condition that any human being could consider. And you're right, Mikey, it was his money, but he was threatened. They knowing that the man had cancer and wanted, of course, to go to the United Kingdom to address that issue. They knowing that, they threaten him, even though the court say that the government has to pay the man for work that he already did. They threaten to, and in fact, appeal the matter. And Al-Rawi was saying that if the appeal court still give the rights or give the money, or say to give the money to Nelson, they would further appeal it to the Privy Council. and they even said it will take at least up to 2024. All of that was part of it. You talk about evil people here. You talk about heartless people only because they want to remain in office to treat with the population in the way that they have been exploiting it and our resources. I mean that is evil. That is I mean, I can't even find words. Normally I'll find words. It is almost ineffable. And then the other aspect of it, of course, is that the letter from Vincent Nelson to the DPP says that at all times the DPP was aware both of the indemnity agreement and of course during the course of the plea bargaining arrangement. And I am saying to the DPP that even if it is a question of self-righteous indignation, even if it is you have found yourself in a situation where you had to have some remorse, even if you may be implicated, I say go forward. The people will be at your side, because of course at least you have preempted and you have of course reversed if of course what Vincent Nelson has contained in his letter is in fact so, whether he knows or not. And in the interest of our country, in the interest of our democracy, in the interest of the rule of law, in the interest of making certain that elements like these cannot do this level of evil in high places and get away with it, you have a duty, Gaspard, to, in the interest of the people of Trinidad and Tobago and the public good and the oath of office that you would have taken. And as I said, whether it is a case of self-righteousness or the potential to implicate yourself, you hold the office of DPP right now, and therefore you have a responsibility, even at the risk of your career, because of course it is now a question.
Right, but if it is, he thought about it. If Vincent lie about that there because he's a very smart lawyer and the DPP don't know about it, let me go on the grounds because the DPP say they know about it. So
no, we have a duty, Andy.
Yes,
to let the people know what we know.
Good.
So I'm saying that.
Right. So if he don't know, you don't let me know if he know. If he don't know.
Yeah. So therefore the DPP has to respond to that. But the point I'm making, it does not take away the objective of him holding the office of DPP.
You don't make that point.
The appropriate actions, yes.
Right, you don't make that point. So you didn't want to settle on the point of if he did know.
No. I am saying that is what Vincent has said. But we have a duty as media people, as ground reporter, to put that out there, because that is in fact so. We do not want to say we're selling a story that is one-sided. That's the point I'm making.
Very good. And we did not. We come with all the facts. Trinidad and Tobago, here it is. We're going to take a quick
political cover we are dealing with.
Nice. Trinidad and Tobago, we're going to take a quick break and come back. When we come back, we want to hear you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Are you ready? Do you know the importance of next week Tuesday? Please go DPP office, Richmond Street, 9 a.m. in the morning.
Somebody is playing a hand in our favor. Somebody is playing a hand in our favor, because at the end of the day, karma is a hell of a thing. We know that karma ain't easy. You can't just throw a man on the bus.
This is
your phone is working. Lennox, you're breaking up.
Lennox, you're breaking up. But before we go to the break, you're breaking up. Before we go to the break, someone is playing a hand here in favor. This smear campaign against Alwari, he's not my favorite individual. I hold no brief for this man. But here we go again. And politics really has a morality of its own, you know, whether people want to agree with that or not. This man was your number one cleaner. There was something called deposit gate. Who came and cleaned that up? When the hand was touching, grabbing, squeezing, groping, who came and cleaned that up? Look how many issues was cleaned up
by Faris,
by this tight pants.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, a man who was once deemed such an asset to your organization and to your cabinet has now become a political liability. You want to throw him off as though he's the old man from the sea clinching around your neck? Come on. Right is right, wrong is wrong. It's wrong. And I know that the man and his handlers are not going to just sit by idly and take that. I know that for a fact. They're not just going to take that, Andy. This man cleaned up and mopped up so many messes for you. And now all of a sudden you're just
Prime Minister.
under the bus.
Yeah, for the Prime Minister. For those who don't want to read between lines. The cabinet, yeah.
The government.
That's right. The entire government.
A lot of them
That's the poor guy. Yeah.
And now he's a fall guy.
No, but then Mikey,
when he was doing it all along, he had your support. You had his back. You endorsed it. You supported all that he was doing. Now all of a sudden, when you realize that this could cost you everything, this man has become what? Persona non grata?
That's right.
Is that fair? Is that fair?
A chain block.
No, but I want to believe in a little there too. And I want to believe that the PNM take care of their own, especially the 1%, them big bond them, Faris and them. And that is the reason why the DPP now is under fire from the former Attorney General that took Faris' spot. And everybody else fine on the DPP right now. It's because some element within the PNM are putting back that fight because they could remember all the cleanup, Faris cleanup. So they put the PNM president. Now they're looking to get rid of the DPP in order to put them DPP, in order for them DPP now to drop charges on Faris Arabi because of some technicality. Remember I tell you that.
But again, all of this wrongdoing can only take place if we do nothing, and that's the importance of next week Tuesday. You see, if they get through, if they succeed in putting who they want to put there, then all the wrongdoing, all the nonsense would have seemed as though, all right, cool, we look out for you. No, they can't gamble it. That's why they're starting to distance themselves away from him. You see, your ministry, we had to start dismantling your ministry. We don't want you networking with powerful people. We don't want you talking and building your own thing parallel to what we're trying to do. So they have to work this thing simultaneously to the fact that, listen, hey, we try to push out the DPP, but at the same time, try to distance ourselves from that man. So whichever way it will work out, they fall into their bed of roses. But that will only take place if we do nothing.
Yes. So again, the importance of next week Tuesday, please God, 9 a.m. DPP office. Push back. Support. Stand up for your rights. Next week Tuesday. Let us, before I take the break, you wanted to say something?
No, I'm merely saying that clearly they will have to get a fall guy, and Al-Rawi fits the bill clearly, and I want to also hazard a replacement. I'm saying that Honore is the person who would have been identified, because in that email conclusion that of course the former Commissioner of Police said that it was never emails, it was something that somebody was made up. She of course gave inside of her conclusion a lifeline for Rowley. So he went 2 or 3 Thursdays ago and read her conclusion to in a sense make it inconclusive, and so Kamala Prasad Bisesa doesn't have a full and complete victory or vindication, and that person seemed to be the person. She kept that over 3 years. So we know that is the person that they can identify. Another woman, it appears.
Thank you. You was breaking up, but we get most of what you say. John Tobago, we go for a quick break and come back. Don't switch that dial. The full team is in the studio. And it's all about standing up for democracy. Stand up for the last pillar of democracy, which is the DPP. Support the DPP. And in doing that, asking the DPP to send that Vincent Nelson file with the former AG Faris. and the whole cabinet and government of Trinidad and Tobago for witness tampering, misbehavior in public office, and we could go on and on because this could stretch as far as treason. Roads lead to the DPP office this Tuesday morning, next week Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Walk with your candles as a backyard, your different candles. And at 11 o'clock, we all gonna kneel down and pray with our lit candles and then deliver a letter to the DPP in support of him, but in giving him the encouragement to do what he has to do as the last pillar, last post. You see, a chain is strong as its weakest link. Last link towards this government and getting up a day if they get you that put the PNM DPP.
In defense of our democracy.
In defense of our democracy. We take a break and come back. Lennox, when I talking, I think and they don't.
So
you is the big one man.
Finish, my friend. You pause. So I thought you had finished.
Oh.
You pause. You had a long pause.
All right, partner. But you're fiery. You're fiery right now. So I want to come back and hear.
We have been able to understand each other. But I thought that your pause suggests something.
Nice, but don't go nowhere. Mikey's in the building. Trinidad and Tobago. Mikey K. Lennox Smith is in the building. Yours truly, the pitbull of radio, is in the building. We go until 12 o'clock. And our mantra today is in standing in defense of the last pillar of democracy, which is the DPP office, the independence of the DPP office, and to try to avoid this PNM government in finding a way to get rid of the DPP in order to put them DPP, just like to put the PNM president, activist president. Well, listen to how important this is. We're going to take a break and come back. But it's now important Tuesday morning is 9 a.m. DPP office, Richmond Street. Push back for country. I ain't paying a number. Push back for democracy. Push back for the right thing.
Well, the fact is that good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. The DPP's office I see as the last bastion of our democracy. And if it comes under the control of Keith Rowley, it means that one individual alone or political party, they will have now full authority to direct who investigates, monitors, targets, arrests, and now even prosecuted. If you recall, this is what has happened where it seems that this government, their hierarchy, their intention is to what is known as democratic dictatorship, have full control of every single so-called independent body, and by doing that, it means that you could direct even the police officer who should be investigated, and then even go now into the DPP's office to complete that line, that threshold of the criminal justice system to ensure that persons are prosecuted.
We see that Rowley would be fearful of Gaspar because of what Nelson is saying. The Rowley government went behind the back of DPP Gaspar and engaged in witness tampering. I call on the Commissioner of Police to investigate witness tampering on the part of Faris Alwari and the government. If what Nelson is telling us transpired, you can get no better a case for witness tampering than what they did to induce Nelson to give evidence to prosecute and persecute Ramlogan and Ramdeen. Rowley is so fearful, they offered the inducements to Nelson. DPP didn't know nothing about that. DPP said he didn't know nothing. They went behind the back of the DPP to offer this man inducements, and I'll tell you, there was a newspaper over the weekend, but I'll share it with you tonight, what they promised Mr. Nelson to buy his testimony against Ramdeen and Ramlogan. All about money. The TTPS does not see any of this. They do not think it warrants an investigation. And you have to say, you have to wonder Once it's a UNC, they're out for you. But when it's one of their own, there's a blind eye that is still, and it must stop happening. Crime is crime, white color, blue color, any color, crime is crime is crime. And those who do the crime must do the time. You have to do the time when you do the crime.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith. Stand your ground. Push back. With Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
More options from Royal Castle with their 3 tasty meal specials. Meals made with the freshest fish, seasoned with the Castle's appetizing Trini ingredients and cooked to golden perfection. Choose from the fish combo, 2 succulent pieces of fish, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or the fish sandwich combo of a tender, tasty sandwich, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or even a flavorful veggie combo option of a sandwich, a side and a 16-ounce soft drink. Get more options from Royal Castle. Our culture, our taste for Lent.
There's a new drink that's transforming what you expect from a beverage. U-Juice is 100% natural and has the power of red ginseng, turmeric, ginger, and the world's strongest antioxidant. Your new drink has arrived. U-Juice, en route to the ultimate you.
U-Juice. How about my drink bigger than natural boost?
Green Dot continues to deliver internet connectivity to a wide range of communities in Trinidad. With our combination fiber and wireless network, you get the service you need wherever you live. Stream your favorite shows, enjoy online tuition, stay in touch with your work team, and connect with friends and family with internet service at a price you can afford. As communities continue to grow, we continue to deliver. Call 224-GDOT or visit gd.tt today. Green Dot, improving and simplifying lives.
Hey, get your message to the ones who spend. Automation networks have to use 3 or more frequencies to get your message to the listener. One frequency where your message is heard is on 104.7 Iconic Radio. We present the best variety of music throughout the day. And 104.7, the home of the icons. For more information, call our sales department at 628-4073 and 221-4913. Call now and request a quotation. No budget is too small.
Babes, and I win $1,000 with Cashpot Instant Win.
Instant Win? What's that?
Well, when you play Cashpot, just add $5 more to get your Instant Win numbers. Check your ticket, and if any of your Instant Win numbers match your Cashpot numbers, you could win up to $1,000 right away. It's real easy. So get ready. I'm taking you out tonight.
Say less, honey. I'm liking this Cashpot Instant Win, boy. We'll stop and pick up some more of those tickets, right?
Win up to $1,000 with the new Cashpot Instant Win. When you play Cashpot, get your Instant Win numbers for only $5 more. Match them with any of your Cashpot numbers in the corresponding panel and you win. Ready for instant winnings? Then play NLCB's Cashpot Instant Win today. Players must be 18 years and older. Please play responsibly.
Shiny and Ari Restaurant number 67 Western Main Road, James, opposite Standard, for breakfast daily Monday to Sunday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. On the menu, sada roti, Friday, roast beef, pie, coffee, tea, Milo, vegetable pizza, pancakes with assorted vegetable. Lunch specials daily from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Chicken pilau, $25. Assorted lunch from $25 to $40. Soup specials and crab and dumpling. Delivery of food available. Dinner a la carte on the pavement from 6 p.m. until burgers, chicken sandwich, hot dogs, fries and chicken, nuggets, shrimp burger, gyros, and anything else you can think about. Call 382-9347 to place your orders 7 days a week.
Are you disappointed by astrologers and pundits? Then meet third generational Pandit Narasimha. He uses traditional methods and gives solutions in problems like marriage, relationship, love, business, job, health, and removes all negativity, black magic, bad luck permanently. Specialist in reuniting with your ex. Call Pandit Narasimha 359-3939. That's 359-3939.
Trinity Lighting, 123 Western Main Road, St. James. Special on LED bulbs. Purchase 4 LED bulbs for $100, get 2 free. Trinity, we stock a wide variety of electrical supplies and specialize in light bulbs and parts for all your residential, commercial, marine, and medical fits. Remember, buy 4 LED bulbs for $100, get 2 free. 628-8373 or 622-6935. Check them out on Facebook, Trinity Lighting ETC LTD, or shop online at trinityetc.com. In the Miami area, contact them at 305-354-2033 or 305-932-0727. Remember, be safe and wear your mask. Trinity Lighting welcomes you to their main store, 123 Western Main, St. James.
Easter Monday! Easter Monday! You know what we say, Easter Monday, that means More FM Sports and Family Day is on! Finally, the biggest and the best sports day in the country is back! And we can bring the entire family back together in person! This Easter Monday, all the More FM families will gather at Constantine Park in Macoya from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. April 10th, Easter Monday, is the More FM Family Day at the Constantine Park in Macoya. Want to bring your friends and family as a team? Register early because spaces are limited. Or you can just come enjoy the day of fun and picnic with your friends and family and lime with our family of DJs and announcers. Come for tug of war, musical chairs, hoopla, tin pan alley, bouncy castle, and more fun games and activities for the entire family. More FM Sports and Family Day 2023. One family, one voice.
Welcome to M&M Pharmacy. Strategically located next to Eastside Supermarket in Sangre Chiquito, Sangre Grande. For all your healthcare needs and much more, M&M Pharmacy will give you customer service like no other. Your health is your wealth. That's right.
Looking to complete your home or business project? Well, the place is Michelin Hardware. We carry a large selection of roofing and plumbing supply, lumber, steel, water tanks, tools, and more. Get your sand, gravel, sand filled by the bag, yard or load. No one beats our prices. Visit us at M&R Building, number 97, Eastern Main Road, Aruka, or call 646-2144. WhatsApp 327-7761. Michelin Hardware.
Disclaimer. More FM Limited, its owners and associates, accepts no responsibility for statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. More FM Limited does not endorse any of the information provided during this commercially booked segment as the truth. That you have to judge for yourself. We, however, reserve the right to question statements made. But in this time of misinformation, government-controlled media and corruption, it is sometimes hard to get the truth. But we must try. It is not our intention to discriminate or annoy anyone. We believe it is our constitutional right to free speech, to voice our opinion, and our duty to the population and country to expose the truth. More FM Limited takes no responsibility for the opinions of others.
The Ground Report, the ground report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrochin.
The Ground Report, the ground report.
I would think that there's been very clear that all the employees of Petrochin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith. The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Right, folks. Should be back on the inside.
Yes, I'm here indeed. Yes. Are you hearing me, Clara? No, yeah. I want to take the conversation a little further to put it in the realm of the desperation of this administration not in the usual sense, because I have been advocating, and I have not seen any evidence to suggest that the UNC was corrupt. And I think what this particular incident suggests that in order to manifest their illusion, having not been able to identify any corruption with respect to the velodrome, with respect to the aquatic center, the hospital, the 107 schools, and we can go on and on. Even, of course, the OS contract. This was supposed to be the creme de la creme, the ultimate in, of course, satisfying the thirst of the population to manifest by this administration, prove by this administration, the Rowley administration, that the UNC was corrupt. Because what Dr. Rowley has given us so far, all of them, is that the UNC was corrupt, full stop. They have not been able to identify any major incident of corruption, proof or otherwise. And what we are seeing unfolding today, we are seeing unfolding, of course, their trolls bringing back up Rishmi, Section 34, and so on. Well, let's face it, that is not what Rowley and them meant when they say that the UNC was corrupt to the core. It could never be, because Dr. Rowley himself has set the standard when he accused the Manning administration under Calderon and the Udicot. Remember that when he said that what is transpiring in the Manning administration, Calderon, Udicot notwithstanding, is 10 times worse than that of Piarco. Remember that? So therefore, it couldn't be Rishmi or it couldn't be Section 34. Those were storms in teacup. And let's face it, if you look at Rishmi was a simple situation that the execution of political patronage. That is normal. You take your people and put them in a political office, and whether they qualify or not is irrelevant. You did it because at the end of the day, after 5 years, the people will judge whether or not you were efficacious, you delivered, etc. So that to me is minuscule. And then of course you have Section 34. Section 34 again was easily remedied when of course they went back into the parliament and of course rescinded that particular clause or that particular decision that was made to of course effective. But let's face it as well. Let's face it, because Rowley will not tell us that, but they will just mention that and make it look as though is the unpardonable sin. And when one looks at it, let's assume that Section 34 existed. One will have seen that they will have to go to court, and the court will have to decide. Nothing different to today, when of course the people, if you are charged for murder, you can go before the court to get bail, but it doesn't mean to say you are going to get bail, depending on the circumstance. So I thought it was important, of course, to link that to this unfolding situation where it was incumbent of this pernicious administration to find some kind of incident situation to manifest their projection that the UNC under Kamala Prasad Bisasa was corrupt, and I stand by that. We have seen no evidence to show that the UNC was corrupt.
Oh boy. Chantobago, the lines are open. Remember, we're going until 12 p.m. today. Yes. So I'm going to give you all the numbers to call. 229-0251. That's 229-0251 or 239-5120. 239-5120. And WhatsApp callers for all the poor people. You get a Wi-Fi wherever you could get a little thing. Make your contribution. Let us know if you support our progress, that next week Tuesday, please God, that all roads leads to the DPP office in support of the DPP, the last pillar of democracy, in which this PNM government now attacking he to get rid of he, to put them PNM DPP, and then that is the end of we.
People, and I want you to note that the man was sick, and they exploit that. They exploit that to bear false witness against Anand Ramlogan and Ramdeen in order for them to manifest a fictitious agenda to say that the UNC was corrupt. You could well imagine an election call, and I'm sure that the election might have been called.
We have a call.
Yeah? You could hear Rowley up and down on the campaign trail. Look, I told you that they were corrupt, and look, Ramdeen and Ramlogan is making a jail now, and so forth and so forth. You could hear him. I could hear him all now. Go ahead, Andy.
Go ahead, caller. Morning to you. Where are you calling from? What's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning?
Morning again, gentlemen. The Barakpur here again. Gentlemen, we have to be careful. Now, everybody had their opinion and their voice that they could call and say what they want to say. But the listening audience had to be careful how they interpret certain underlying undercurrent when people call and talk about we have to get rid of the entire opposition. We need new blood and we need all of that. Let me tell you something. Everybody has had an agenda, and some of them got called. You know what's going on for the last 7 to 8 years in this country, and come and make it an issue to bring the opposition as the agenda that you're going to push a point at all. You see, people can come now to say bring new blood, and when an election call, you have a certain new blood where nobody knows about. People don't even recognize who they are, and then you see the demon come back in power without even working to be in power, because we know how our mentality does work. We like to know that we going to do something with something that we know we like. We don't like the unknown. We don't like to take chances in this country. So when people come out and would talk for lengthy periods, and they would mention the PNM and the destruction that they're doing to the country, and say, here what, no matter who it is we have there, we have to get rid of the PNM. It's not the leadership of the other party. It's the destruction of the country that is taking place right now under this government. And come to try to justify why we need new blood and we come like good and this and that. If they understand the constitution of Trinidad and Tobago, they will understand that here what, Trinidad and Tobago isn't governed under the constitution. It is governed under conscience. That if you had a constitution that would have things like the procurement legislation in place, the making sure that whatever who held for corruption in public office, within 3 months they had to bring the evidence and be prosecuted and put in jail. All these kind of things, you could know now you could put a crapo in a suit and they would have to govern the country the proper way. For every cent that somebody in power, a minister, spend, he had to account for it and show that, hey, here what, if to move this gate from A to B, it costs 5,000 and you say you pay 20,000, you have to account for that. And this is the kind of thing. Now, you have a government in place, like the Kamala Prasad government, govern under, they govern under conscience. You understand? They govern under conscience because the lady had a heart. When you see the people road running bad and they're burning tire, next day you go see people coming and fixing the road.
Jack used to move in one time, Jack won herself.
So this man, this demon where we have here named Rowley, he don't have no conscience, he don't care. When you telling people who dead now man, all you sort of free rotten thing, they're trying to choose what kind of man and thing all you having thing. And this coming out from a leadership in the country, and a man could come and talk about the opposition, them matter what. But people have to be smart in this country and listen to the undertone of a set of dotish people will call and try to mislead the population. Gentlemen, have a good morning. Take care, man. Later.
Thank you very much. Wow, the lines are open, Trinidad and Tobago, to all new callers. Yes, we are on until 12 p.m. today. So you have the opportunity.
You know what Kamaluddin Mohammed was. Oh, sorry. Are you angry?
Yes. But remember, we're taking some calls here.
Andy?
Yeah. Go ahead, caller.
No, go ahead.
Good morning to Andy Roberts and Mikey. Makano, I'll be there on Wednesday morning.
Hey, not Wednesday. That's why we glad people still lock on. It's Tuesday. Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. DPP office, Richmond Street.
Makano will be there.
Makano, we look forward to seeing you. We look forward to seeing many people. Many people will be there. Oh boy, while I wait your calls, I'm going to give the numbers. Lennox Smith wanted to break down something, and that's how we will do it. If it have a call, we will take it. Morning caller, where you calling from?
Yes, good morning.
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 Now, I would like to suggest something. You see the way that these ministers are operating. I don't think that the people that we signing would go towards that commissioner, and that any progress will come out of it. This is my opinion.
So your opinion is, because we the people looking to ask the DPP to send the file on Faris to the Commissioner of Police to investigate the government, the cabinet, because Mr. Nelson's letter implicating the whole government, the cabinet, right? And to launch an investigation. So you are saying that she, Irma, who told us God and mentioned God and all kind of thing, that she would not investigate this thing for the people of Chandra.
That is absolutely.
She's not a holy.
That is absolutely correct, because if I a string from tomatoes, I wouldn't want to go in a balata shoes, big man thing. And this is what's going on right now in this country for the past 8 years. Just like I spoke about the jobs in Grandy and all over the country. This is something that I'm speaking about, and watch me. I think very carefully before I speak. And this, I think will have no results on it. You know what I'm telling you.
Thank you very much. Morning caller, where you calling from? What's your contribution on the going report this morning?
Come on. Good morning.
Andy?
Yeah.
I really want to talk to you. Not online now, but I was just texting you before.
All right. Well, you call me after I come off. I'm coming off after 12 o'clock. Nice. Next caller. Oh boy. Let's get the next caller by the time. But for all the new callers and the people that wanting to call, make a contribution, give us their thoughts on all the important issues that we bring up this morning. Play a role, send a voice note too. Please send a voice note, short and sweet, on what you think. The numbers to call 229-0251. That's 229-0251 or 239-5120, 239-5120, or give us a WhatsApp call. Yes, all poor people and the foreigners. 366-3053, 366-3053. Give us your phone burner, but also let us know what role you will play in this Tuesday here. DPP office, Richmond Street, 9 a.m. Where we are all going there to stand at the side of the DPP. Let's know. Morning caller, calling from. What's your contribution on the going report this morning?
Good morning. This is Big O Martin. Morning to you, Andy Smithy, Mikey Gay. I come in front of the DPP office with 3 mannequins. And I ain't saying one go at CJ, one go at PM, and one go at AG. You understand? And I bring in the LBGTT team with me too. Now, listen to me. I want to find out if Anthony Carmona was invited to the inauguration of Christine Kangaloo, because nobody acknowledged him. So I find that is really not good diplomatic protocol. He has been one of the presidents of a country alive. I know they wanted to ask Max Richard to come back here, but I think he's going to the great beyond. The other thing is, they highlighted a lot of the conversation and a lot of the clips on the jovial behavior of Mr. Pandey. And I want to put on the front page, Pandey say, the actor Makashia, and he say, the opposition leader anti-president. That was not the sentiment I got from listening to it. However, he was in a nice little chat with the PM, and the PM was jovial, and all of a sudden I watch him out and he whisper something to the man, and I was like a fly on the wall. You know what he tell him? Guess what he tell him? Jail ain't nice. I'm going to have a nice morning.
Thank you very much. Morning caller, we're calling from. What's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning?
Typical of the former Prime Minister, he liked these script to give some kind of hilarious twist to an otherwise very serious matter. Good morning.
Go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you. What's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning?
Hello? Okay, let me move on a little bit.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is a first-time caller. I'm calling from...
Yes, good morning.
You're calling from where?
Clifton Street, East River, Port of Spain.
All right, East River, Port of Spain. Go ahead.
I am a regular...
Yes, go ahead. Port of Spain, yes.
I am a regular listener to the Ground Report. And I heard that you're having a match on Tuesday. Now, I never miss a match. And I wouldn't be missing that one for my life on Tuesday. The only way I wouldn't be able to come is if I die. Because Rowley have to go. I am fed up of this man. He have to go. Okay? Thank you.
Good morning, caller. Where are you calling from? What's your contribution in the Ground Report?
Oh, good morning.
Yeah, morning to the Ground Report.
Morning, hello, my brother. Reporter, go ahead.
Good morning, go ahead.
Yes, man. Yeah. You believe technology is, while that lady was talking just from Duncan Street or somewhere around there, I was online same time too, but I just said, let me stay quiet because it's working, but I come back on one time. Now, this morning, Andy, we are listening to you all, and I listened to the Monday Night Forum, and I want this country to be aware of something. The salary that pays government is taxpayers' money, so they also pays the opposition as well as salary too. So you have to listen to the opposition when the time is right. You must listen to them. They are making some claim right now, Trinidad and Tobago. You must analyze and listen. Listen, the PNM is not rejecting nothing they are saying. It's have a next program with a family, a brother come out of a family of attorneys and making some statements on national radio and on social media and all these different things. And it's dangerous, damning things he is saying. He even going so far to ask for protocol letter, try to stop him, and nobody is stopping him. So what are they trying to hide now? One of the talk I hear in the grapevine right now is this DPP that they are going at. And although they don't place a president, I hear the president is a person could give anybody pardon for whatever problem they have in the system or all these kind of things. And these people are handpicked by a party that have a track record right now that tearing this place apart. They are tearing Trinidad apart. The democracy is not working for us. But whatever. Yeah, what is going to happen? You all going to support the DPP? That is good. I would like to pass through on that whole system. That whole system is very good because we must have a place in order to do a check and balance. Otherwise, we will end up with a one-party state, and Trinidad and Tobago, you all ain't ready for that. So the best thing to do is to remove this man. You have to just walk out the office, leave all his documents at the desk, and then the next person is going to look into those same documents. That is what this election is all about. We want to see the documents that the PNM was working with for the past 7 to 8 years. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh boy. Morning, caller. Where are you calling from?
Outrage. This is raw outrage.
What's the contribution?
Yeah, Andy, the boy from Gandhi again, boy.
Yes, Gandhi.
Right. So we hearing all kind of things now. So the man is saying that for work. The man is telling nobody nothing. So everything the man goes along and everything the man eating, boy. No food for we, boy. What kind of thing is that? Anyway, have a blessed day.
And that's what's going on with all of us. Them eating everything and them don't understand things hard. Oh God, boy, things bad. And Lord knows, and all of we know, a blind man could see, and things getting worse. The lines are open, Trinidad and Tobago. You know the numbers. I'll check out your WhatsApp and see what WhatsApp there. We have brother researcher number 1 that we have to have an interview with. Based again on the financial system of this country, that this government is so secretive, whereby you seeing outside there many big banks are closing down, and he will break down to us where we are shares and if we have interest in many of those big banks that are crashing. Does you trust thing there? First Citizens Bank, that thing there? We buy over Republic Bank. We are anything in them thing and them they were crashing. This government is so secretive. Everything is shh. Morning caller, where you calling from? What's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning?
I remind the house here.
Go ahead, Arima.
From day one, I keep telling the country about this line prime minister we have. This deceitful Obia man. Listen to me, I want to ask the country something this morning. When we had the former partnership government on a Kamala Pesasad, did the people balling so? Look at seeing this man take over the country, Andy and Lennox. What state we are in? Look at the job system. Look at the job system. Look at the health. Look, you can't go to the hospital and get good attendance. Look at some of the roads. People are working as they should, get money. And this man saying the government care and delivers. Rowley is a wicked man, man. It's time to call the general election. Next thing, Andy, we have a community center in Pinto Road, Arima. Right? They take off the roof clean and they leave this side alone. They do that?
Oh God, oh God.
The ministers is Beckers. Tell Beckers. If rainfall, let me say walk in the street and rainfall and they're going to shelter, you carry on there, they have no roof. Santa, that is Pinto Road and recreation ground. I ain't seen Beckers. The last I see Beckers was the Sunday before the last election gone. So no, me ain't seen Beckers. And this government say the referendum the greatest DP and them. All they wake up in this country, wake up in 2025 or before. We have to get rid of this lying, thief and wicked Prime Minister government. Look at they want to go and interfere with the DP now. You know why? He find too much UNC cases Japan. So you want to have look at the president, the commissioner of police. So they want to have who's a pain in the DP. Rowley, wicked man, Obia man. Call election. Locked on.
Well, the fact is that good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. The TPP's office I see as the last bastion of our democracy. And if it comes under the control of Keith Rowley, it means that one individual alone or political party, they will have now full authority to direct who investigates, monitors, targets, arrests, and now even prosecuted. If you recall, this is what has happened where it seems that this government, their hierarchy, their intention is to what is known as democratic dictatorship, have full control of every single so-called independent body, and by doing that, it means that you could direct even the police as to who should be investigated, and then even go now into the TPP's office to complete that line, that threshold of the criminal justice system to ensure that persons are prosecuted.
That is former Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith letting you know the threat at the DPP office, and they're going at him the same way they wanted the Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith himself, because Gary Griffith refused to be anybody carry. Now they want the DPP to be the carry of Faris Alwari with what he did wrong. The DPP say no. Or they don't get only mess no. Now they want to get rid of he. They put the PNM president. The Danashi. Now they want to move he. They put the PNM DPP. Oh God, will be dead now. Wait.
He said Rowley could be fearful of Gaspar because of what Nelson is saying. The Rowley government went behind the back of DPP Gaspar and engaged in witness tampering. I call on the Commissioner of Police to investigate witness tampering on the part of Faris Alwari and the government. If what Nelson is telling us transpired, you can get no better a case for witness tampering than what they did to induce Nelson to give evidence to prosecute and persecute Ramlogan and Ramdeen. Rowley is so fearful, they offered the inducements to Nelson. DPP didn't know nothing about that. DPP said he didn't know nothing. They went behind the back of the DPP to offer this man inducements, and I'll tell you, there was a newspaper over the weekend, but I'll share it with you tonight, what they promised Mr. Nelson to buy his testimony against Ramdeen and Ramloga. All about money. The TTPS does not see any of this. They do not think it warrants an investigation. And you have to say, you have to wonder. Once it's a UNC, they're out for you. But when it's one of their own, there's a blind eye that is turned. And it must stop happening. Crime is crime. White color, blue color, any color. Crime is crime is crime. And those who do the crime must do the time. You have to do the time when you do the crime.
Go ahead, Lennox. You wanted to say something. Go ahead, my brother.
No, I was asking you, frankly, a question. Do you know what was the career of Kamaldeen Mohammed before he became a Minister of Agriculture and then, of course, a Minister of Health? Do you know what his career was? What he was doing before that?
What?
Do you know?
What he was doing before that?
He was a coconut vendor. A coconut vendor, and ended up being, of course, a Minister of Agriculture, and well, that may be close to it, but then you have a Minister of Health. I'm making a point to deal with the Reshmi matter and to show how political patronage operates, because if it is that the political directorate, once it's a political appointment, they can appoint anybody to the position. Let's look at the contemporary situation with this government.
Right, but remember we promised the people the lines open. And go ahead, but you go.
I'm going straight at one time. Gonzalez, he said he know nothing about Wassa, and yet still he's the Minister of Public Utilities. So it just goes to show that the Reshmi matter is a storm in a teacup, created and propagandized by the Rowley administration. There is nothing. But this is a serious attempt at undermining our democracy in very significant ways that we cannot throw under the bus or under the rug. Go ahead.
Nice. So true. Trinidad Tobago, we're going to take 2 calls or 3 more, and then we have to go with Mr. Researcher, because you have to understand with the secretary of this government, we have to know our fate, and who best to break it down to you. When you see the financial system crashing out there, many big banks, and we wanting answers if we have any ties, any one of our state enterprises where we have investments in, if we involve in any one of them banks, has shares, what, anything, we need to know. The lines are open. I'm gonna give you all the numbers. The numbers to call. We'll call. Let me just give the numbers a quick. 229-0251. That's 229-0251 or 239-5120. 239-5120. Or give us a WhatsApp call for all the poor people or foreigners. 366-3053. That's a WhatsApp number. 366-3053. Send your voice notes to. Morning call. We're calling from. What's the contribution on the going to? Go ahead, Tagarigua.
Yes. I can't talk Tuesday. Could I talk? Andy?
Yeah, go ahead now. Go ahead.
All right. You see
Go
what
ahead, you're on already. Yeah.
There is an open target right now, Lennox. They can't move Gaspard because the whole country see what they're doing. Well, a man showing you the hand in Romeo can't easy to beat. We see what they're doing. Cameron, you see the same way Gary. They thought that everything covered up with Gary. And they were with him. And the lawyer watch. He said, right, this is where we're going. And they came up. Between the Gong report opposition, they really clear up. They can't move Gaspard from there. They're fooling themselves. And they're not. I know you talk about Kamal, right? Coconut, and they're quite correct. But he was a good minister of senior affairs and figure. He was the best. Right? When he was at PLM.
Right.
He was good. He was a very... The good man in the PLM was George Chambers and then boy Lennox. George Chambers was a very good prime minister. First one we get. But you know why they throw him out, Lennox? PLM themselves had to remove him because he liked the people. Anybody who liked the people, they don't want that. Anybody will tell you when Chambers was prime minister, he never talked race, eh? He wasn't that stupidest. From the time he come in, we have this whole country, free trade zone, anybody can become a businessman. Fellas can bring in goods, you can bring in over, you can bring in where you want. But the businessmen, they want that. They mean just say, they will bring and we will buy. Chambers sit ahead with that, let everybody bring and be a businessman. You know how much people became businessmen under George Chambers' real people. But PNM financiers and the PNM they want that. The PNM helped to bring down George Chambers. Anybody from the PNM who want to tell you the truth will tell you that, Lennox. Robert Montano is a man could tell you that. They don't like Chambers for doing that. They tried to move him, but he was a real good prime minister. The first good prime minister. Then we get Baz, and then we get Kamla. My name was just as wicked as this one that they have here.
Go now, but you teach my lesson today with that whole George Chambers and the history of him. I learned something today.
Well, good man. Going through up and ask anybody. He said, I know God and thing walking with here, though. He said, walk by himself. He said, go by Highway in St. Augustine in the morning, park up and wait. Mr. Chambers, come in. No. I'll wait until you all open. You're that decent man, Andy. Right? Well, good fella. Don't worry that fellas.
Compared to these fellas today, arrogant and contemptuous.
Thank you very much. Oh boy. They ain't easy at all.
Yeah, we have to.
Morning caller.
We have to mix it. We have to.
All right, next week Tuesday at the DPP office in Port of Spain.
What time?
At 9 a.m.
Wow, and you're a first time caller?
No, sir, not a new caller, but I've never been in any support as yet. But on Tuesday morning, I will come down, not for my sake, but for the sake of the nation, of the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you.
They said that no man is above the law, which is true. But I wish to see Dr. Rowley appear before the courts and give account of all his actions. And that will make us as a nation feel a lot better to know that he is a person that the nation don't need. He is something that we can do without. And I'm waiting for that day when the Lord brings justice upon him, and only then I will believe in the physical world that no man is above the law, because it seems like corruption is drumming the whole nation day by day. All because of him, all about him. Anyhow, you have a nice day, and God bless our nation.
Oh boy. What's up, Mikey? You there?
Yeah. Before I make my way out, folks,
Yes.
I have to attend to something. But you definitely on point. People are understanding what next week Tuesday means, but it really and truly means. I mean, that was Nelson money, you know. Nelson walked for that. This is how I want you to confront them when you're in the supermarket, when you're in the market, when you're in the maxi, when you're in the car. You understand? Even after church, they like to look for small talk. I find Kamala and them with this coughing thing and this coughing. I don't want to hear no coughing. You see what's going on? A man work for money, and they basically tell him, if you want the money that you work for, that you rightfully deserve, you have to go and fabricate so, and other people was in the dark about it. You tell me that, right? You the same people who just try to tell your grandchildren, don't lie, be truthful, who just walk around acting with this high moral turpitude. You who like to play role model, but this wrong is being committed right before your eyes, and you're just gonna let it. Why? Because what? You're paying them until it don't work. So no one is above the law. Whoever had to get arrested or locked up, let it be. Let the chips fall where they may.
So true talk, Mikey.
That's right. And the commissioner of police has a job to do. She has her duty to perform. There's so much wrongdoing here. The commissioner has to understand what is taking place. This thing does not add up. And we could run it through one more time for the people who don't understand or who don't want to understand what took place. Andy, come on. Again, one more time. Ring it in their ears, just like how we just ring out what Rowley said at that anniversary celebration at the PNM. You know it by heart now. I can handle my, God, Rowley said we had to get accustomed and we had to adapt and whatever we entitled to. I'm feeling it every day. I'm frustrated. Yes, it must start to be embedded in your psyche so you can understand that on October 5th, 2017, former AG Faris Alwari informed Nelson's former attorney, Roger Kawal Singh, yes, the man with the Porsche that was never registered, that if Nelson gave a notarized statement against former UNC politicians, Anand Ram Logan, Senior Counsel, and Gerald Ramdeen, he Alwari would ensure that Nelson was paid for work he did for the government. He ensured him that the money that you work for, you will get is your money. I know that, but here what's going on? I need a favor from you. So they withhold payments. They say, boy, if you sign this thing that says Anand and Ramdeen, them is two thieves, they corrupt, they whatever, blah, 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 we will pay you the money that the government owes you. That's right, your money. So the period for payment, the letter said, covered 2010 to 2018 and February to December 2018. He got payments and so on, and he sued. He sued when the government changed. He sued for work he had done. He did the work, he did the job. They ain't questioning that, They ain't questioning if the job was above board, They ain't questioning whether he was efficient, They ain't questioning that. But here what they questioning, listen, we know it's your money, but we want a favor from you. And it had to go to appeal, and then Faris got to somebody and tell him, look, don't worry, we'll pay the money. All you have to do is bad talk them fellas, Ram Logan and Ramdeen. And so said they did pay him about $10 million after. Nice, I like your bad talking. Hold that. And the second alleged promise set out in the letter, statement, that his notarized statement will only be shown to the DPP and the ACIB, but not any criminal investigatory body or prosecuting body outside of Trinidad and Tobago. We keeping this here, so they never showed anybody up in the UK, but somebody, some good citizen, some right conscious individual or individual, they leak it to the UK and they say, hey, what is this? But you can't practice law here. So you know what that means? So they promise him we're not going to give anybody, just the DPP and the Anti-Corruption Bureau. So Nelson gave the statement on October 26, 2017 and provided all kinds of documents in return for the indemnity promised him. By who? By who? Al-Wari. The letter said, promise number 3. It was alleged that Faris undertook as part of the indemnity agreement to recommend to the DPP that no criminal proceedings will commence against Nelson. Faris promised he will tell the DPP no criminal proceedings. Now that was broken too, because they end up charging Nelson in the court, and not up to now. Where it is he was fined by the court. That $2.something million has not been paid. He owing. Also promise number 4, the DPP was told that the former AG recommended to him on diverse occasions in 2018 that he should not prosecute Nelson because of the promises Faris made. He would not be charged, he would not be fined. So when you look at promises 5 to 9, these alleged promises related to the indemnity agreement and Nelson's statement, it said that the government of Trinidad and Tobago would not give the UK's National Crime Agency, the NCA, the document. They promised further, guess what? A presidential pardon for Nelson. Everything is just ham, lamb, and jam for Nelson. Not Laventil, not Beetham, not Mova, none of the environing area now, all this spent shell. We see Nelson, that we partner, that we man. We need him more than your stained finger. We can always take advantage of your stained finger. We can always simply just disregard your request, whether it be tap-borne water, whether it be security, whether it be education, whether it be healthcare. We don't have time for that. We want to make sure Nelson is our #1 priority. Yes. So this is what? Presidential pardon. That is not too far from the reality. Because who's sitting now in the president's house? So Nelson now feeling that, oh God, Faris is the best thing since sliced bread. It wasn't Moses, it was Faris who took his staff and stuck it in the water. And he is the one who opened up the Red Sea. He is the one. Faris is like a God. That Faris would make sure that he is not prosecuted. That Faris would get him all the millions that Faris would get him. And what else? Who's sitting in the president's house now? And it goes on. And these allege that an undertaking was provided to Nelson and his attorney, agreeing to pay him, which came after he threatened not to come to Trinidad and Tobago. So his bottom line is, either you pay me or I'm not coming to give evidence. I'm not coming. And all of this would have remained a secret if it was not for the DPP, Roger Gaspard, who took a stand against this nonsense and saying, I don't know nothing about this. What are you talking about? And that ain't going down well, because they either had to rescue Taipans or let him sink. I think it's unfair, because Taipans really clean up a lot of mess. He cleaned up a lot of political messes. He mopped it up. And now, all of a sudden, he's persona non grata. He's no longer an asset to what? The government and the cabinet and even your friendship. You simply look at him now as a liability. Is that correct? And while they play now these games, these dirty games, all our democracy or civil liberties is eroding on a daily basis. This is the final brick in the wall of democracy. If we don't go there and prop it up and become the cornerstone, my God, you can imagine what's going to take place. You can imagine the consequences. They will have full reign, full access to do us as they please. And we cannot sit idly by and just do that, because none of us, regardless of who you are, could ever just sit down there and wait for death to come. You will stand up, you will challenge it, and you will fight it. Nobody wants to lay down and die. So we have to, next week Tuesday at 9 a.m. tell them as it is and present this thing to Mr. Gaspard. You know why? Because he works for us. If he has one boss, if there's one boss that he has to listen to, if there's one boss that can hold him accountable, if there's one boss that can definitely demand transparency, it is the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Next week Tuesday is the all of all. Are you ready?
stand your ground. Push back.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That is the fighting spirit. And that is what he was always waiting on. I miss that. That is the Mikey K, I know. That what come out there came out from your heart. Is he truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth? But many of you deterred him. And I sometimes when I ask him, oh Mikey, you fed up of being played. You got people not serious. Ain't he serious now? Ah boy, let me put on the next person here for you all one time. Larry Dostick, a pleasant good morning to you, researcher.
Morning to everybody out there. Andy, Mikey, Lennox, director.
You sound like Bessie. Gary, let me hear you. We want to hear you clean.
Just now, you hear me better now? Just now.
A little better.
Nice.
Just now,
brother.
Yeah, Andy.
Yes, man.
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you now.
Yes, go ahead.
Lovely, man. Lovely. Morning to everybody out there. Right. Now, hear what going on. Mikey, boy, you now preach there, boy. Breaking down these promises that this gentleman who was stunting as a former Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago, stunting as a member of Parliament, only there for their own financial gain and purposes, and to fight and victimize political opponents, and they are willing to use the treasury of Trinidad and Tobago if they have to induce people. Imagine a man supposed to be paid for work, and this gentleman here has to find himself making up a statement that apparently now he is trying to retract. All kind of thing he trying to pull back now, and I not pulling the DPP out of it yet, you know, completely, because the DPP is a very intelligent man. You cannot reach to the top prosecutorial position in Trinidad and Tobago and use a dodo head. Understand where I'm coming from? So I not just pulling you out of the woodwork yet. So my presence at the DPP's office will be to both support and to ask questions. Here what going on? You see what is taking place here with this Nelson Gate fiasco? This thing began long before that notarized statement in 2017. In October 2015, Maxi Coffee, the former Minister of Communications, told the country that Malcolm Jones will be appointed to the Standing Committee on Energy, the committee that will be advising the cabinet on energy and energy industries and energy affairs in Trinidad and Tobago. While this was taking place, Malcolm Jones was before the court. Malcolm Jones was being held accountable for monies that were, I want to use the right word, for misuse of funds, for abusing his office as the executive chairman, former executive chairman of Petrotrin. Malcolm Jones was before the court. We were told in February 2016 and in the 1st of March 2016 that Petrotrin no longer is continuing this case against Malcolm Jones. And we were given an opinion by none other than this same Vincent Nelson, then QC. And this gentleman here went against all that he said in the years leading up
2015 and 2016. Coincidentally, the date that we saw on this opinion of the gentleman was Sunday, October the 11th, 2015, 3 days after Maxi Coffee's announcement to the people of Trinidad and Tobago in a post-cabinet press conference. The Thursday, Maxi said the Prime Minister put Malcolm Jones on the committee. The Sunday, Nelson found it. He had time on a Sunday. He didn't go and play golf with anybody. He sat and wrote this opinion for Petrotrin. And in quick time, we heard that a case was dropped against Malcolm Jones in early 2016. Early 2016 had some other developments as well that came to the fore actually 5 years later. The Attorney General told us, not we saying, not us speculating, we were told, the media were told, he said it in the Parliament floor, he said it in numerous places, that he gave a van to a gentleman known as Roger Mark Walsing. For those listening out there who do not know, Mr. Walsing is none other than the Trinidad attorney representing the interests of none other than Vincent Nelson.
Oh God! Oh God!
Alright, Andy. Andy, that done song ain't bad enough as it is already. The Bible tells you shun the very appearance of evil. But okay, this gentleman took this thing a step further. When he was cornered like a manico, this lying thing that we have called a former Attorney General, this one that has come and tell me about FATCA and grey list and blacklist and follow the wealth and explain your wealth and we go seize this and don't have 100,000 and we go take it.
Pause listen. Pause on that because I want them to lose based on what you just tell them, right? Because Mikey here too. Based on what you just tell them, based on the case that Malcolm Jones, right? Listen, Trinidad and Tobago, down to the High Court, the people in England want to know if we mad. Listen to this. Listen to this.
The withdrawal of the claim was of such obvious public importance and controversy because it was announced by the Attorney General himself, not Petrotrin, which is a bit odd. The Attorney General, as you'll see from the press statement, uniquely referred himself to the Law Association for his handling of the case. Why on earth would you do that? The Petrotrin is a state-owned company and a major employer, spending and losing public money. And one point which you haven't been told of because Mr. Ramrob is, but I'll fill this in, is Petrotrin has now fired all its staff. It was one of the largest employers in Trinidad. 6,000 staff were fired, which for Trinidad is a huge loss. And all of this was a direct consequence of the financial mismanagement which resulted in this litigation concerns. It is naturally a very real concern for people in Trinidad. More specifically, people are asking themselves, why was a claim to recover £97 million of public money withdrawn? What was the justification for that? And that's made worse when the failed project caused Petrotrin to lose US $3.3 billion in losses and led to the collapse to which I just referred. That, for Trinidad, is big money.
You understand, partner? But you wanted to do
loud and clear. Tell me.
We've got Mikey here. Hear what? Tomorrow, please, God.
Tell me.
Remember, we continuing this until we all have to go and stand for the last pillar of democracy. All roads lead to the DPP's office next week, Tuesday, 9 a.m. Richmond Street. Don't forget that. And tomorrow we'll have to continue because it's 3 minutes to the hour of 12 o'clock. And yes, boy.
And we will watch and we will warn the general public.
Yes, bring everything.
What to go about doing with the funds and the Williams. Now is not time to play. When your neighbor house on yours, when your neighbor house on fire, you have to wet yours. Right now, many people, millions of dollars in the bank stand to lose everything. We're putting out the warning here right now. right? Those who hire little pittance here and there, we have to guide them how to split it up to ensure that you will be covered by the Deposit Insurance Corporation. It is very important. I want to point out and notice that all who have US accounts, not a dollar you have in a US account is secure right now. Do you know that? Pick up the phone and call the DIC at the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago and they will let you know. If you have more than 125,000 per bank, per account, it is uninsured. So we have to know, we will guide people out there thinking because all them banks and them going and start to cave in. Credit Suisse Bank caving in. Trinidad and Tobago wrap up in bed with Credit Suisse, not now. Since the GTL fiasco what Malcolm Jones was before the court for, everything, we go tie up everything for them. Have a nice day.
So tomorrow, please go to Trinidad and Tobago. Don't forget. But before we go there, Mikey K. Partner, brother, this morning hereby, I see the fire in your belly. Now I tell you, I just miss you. You had to come on, man. Oh God, boy. But I know you're coming because you realize people look like they're getting serious. I look like Tuesday, next week Tuesday, please God. Like we're going to have many people at the DPP's office in support of the DPP. Mikey! What shucks like Mikey done gone on here? Trinidad Tobago, it's 1 minute to the hour of 12 o'clock. Yes, yes. Thanks very much for giving 104.7 More FM, one of the last pillars of the media democracy in this country. Give us the opportunity to have your ears, your hearts, and your trust. Stay tuned for tomorrow morning, please God, for the Gong Report program from 6 to 9. And then right after that, Sense and Sensibility with Robert Amar. Coming up next is the biggest DJs ever.
And don't forget.
Don't forget tonight. Oh yes, Corridor Transformation tonight on Facebook from 8 o'clock. We also cannot forget yours truly, Michael K. Mikey K. program tonight on the Observers. The Observers tonight, Guile the channel from 7 p.m. So our DJs will take over after the disclaimer. Yes, after the disclaimer, our DJs will take over. Let them put you back in that kind of mood because this kind of pressure, things hard, things bad. Oh God, boy, and things getting worse. In order for you not to commit suicide, not to beat the wife, domestic violence, and to try to keep it down. We here at 104.7 More FM, they still give people the opportunity so that our DJs gonna relax your burns and keep you on the right track. After God, family comes first. Be safe on the nation roads. Until tomorrow morning, please God. Yours truly, the Pitbull of radio. On behalf of the Gong Report, we are out of here.
With Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Disclaimer. More FM Limited, its owners and associates, accepts no responsibility for statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. More FM Limited does not endorse any of the information provided during this commercially booked segment as the truth. That you have to judge for yourself. We, however, reserve the right to question statements made. But in this time of misinformation, government-controlled media, and corruption, it is sometimes hard to get the truth. But we must try. It is not our intention to discriminate or annoy anyone. We believe it is our constitutional right to free speech, to voice our opinion, and our duty to the population and country to expose the truth. More FM Limited takes no responsibility for the opinions of others.
More FM, the excitement radio station for the... Gotta pay some bills. More FM will be right back.
Come to Sheltec for your everyday gaming needs.
Get your eShop, PSN, Roblox and Steam cards. Also